Chapter 1101. Nighttime. Chen Shang sat on the roof looking at the stars. Just at this time, there was someone knocking on his courtyard door. He anxiously jumped down from the roof, and when he opened the door, he was immediately shocked. The one who knocked on the door was Bai Ziqian, and he was not surprised, but the unexpected thing was that Bai Ziqian did not pretend at all. A pair of blue eyes, with a long braid hanging in front of his well-developed chest, and at the end of the braid was a terrifying purple poison hook. Chen Shang originally wanted to teach them a lesson, but seeing her beautiful yet ice-cold face, she could only quickly invite the Devil Scorpion Princess in. If they found out, it would attract a few Super Yuan sect leaders who would immediately rush over. Entering the house, Chen Shang immediately opened the array he had set up to prevent the spirit chi inside from leaking, to prevent anyone from hearing the conversation inside. If you dare to kill the son of the Dragon Emperor, what are you afraid of? Bai Ziqian said coldly. She was just a little displeased with Chen Shang, because when Chen Shang fought with her, he had ruthlessly pinched the peaches on her chest, causing her to always bear a grudge. Furthermore, her little sister was with the bad guy all day. You, don't come out. It's not safe here, Bai Ziqian anxiously asked. Did this brat bully you? No, he was very nice to me, Bai Yu said softly, allowing him to let out a small sigh of relief. Devil Scorpion Princess, be a bit more respectful to my man. He did a lot of things for you two sisters. Su Meiyao scoffed. What, your man? Bai Ziqian's beautiful face immediately changed. Little demoness, are you really having an affair with this brat? Although Su Meiyao looked to be a demon that was able to seduce her to the bone marrow, Bai Ziqian knew clearly that it was extremely difficult to move this kind of woman's heart. If Chen Shang could take Su Meiyao down, then what about Bai Yu? That's right, we've long been honest with each other. Su Meiyao laughed tenderly. Hee. My man is amazing. You won't be able to find anyone better than him. Hearing Su Meiyao's praise, Chen Shang couldn't help but blush, but his heart was still filled with joy. Yu, did anything happen between you and this little scoundrel? Tell me honestly. Bai Ziqian stood up and looked at him with a pair of ice-cold blue eyes. Yes, he did. Senior sister even kissed him for a very long time. Su Meiyao laughed tenderly, making Chen Shang want to drag her out and spank her butt. To actually say such words, provoking the poison woman's anger, would be very troublesome. She volunteered. Chen Shang saw that Bai Ziqian was at the edge of exploding, and anxiously said. Sis, don't worry about me. Bai Yu sighed. Bai Ziqian took a deep breath, and the expression on her face eased up greatly, because she knew that her sister had gotten rid of the ruthless magic. This was a good thing, but it was just that the little scoundrel Bai Yu was falling for it, and it made her feel very uncomfortable. I'm doing fine too. Even though I'm wanted by the other worlds, I'll be fine. Bai Ziqian said to Bai Yu gently. On the other hand, this brat, he managed to stir up Dragon Emperor. Chen Shang anxiously tried to defend himself. I'm also very safe. I made a plan to get a guy to help me take the blame, it's just that right now I can't find out what's going on over there. Sis, where did you get the magical corruption gas? Why did you kill that immortal king? Bai Yu's words were filled with concern, causing his heart to feel extremely warm. This was kinship, and although the two sisters did not often meet, they often missed each other. Who let him provoke me? Whoever provokes me dies. Bai Ziqian snorted. I got my magical corruption gas by chance, just a tiny bit, and I spent all of it on that group of trash. Bai Ziqian was a fanatic of the magical corruption gas. She had collected some of them back then, but she had been forced to give up after that, so she would not care about anything else if she had the chance to obtain them. Speaking of magical corruption gas, Chen Shang laughed. He had a lot of these things, and they were all in his body. Sister Ziqian, I know there are a lot of magical corruption gas there. Chen Shang laughed. It exists inside the Great Devil Mountains, but it's probably sealed to death. I heard that the demon and devil sinkhole was sealed secretly by the people of that devil-suppressing divine palace. It's said that even Dragon Beijing cannot open the seal like that. Bai Ziqian shook his head, looking extremely regretful. Chen Shang knew that the demon and devil sinkhole had been sealed, but he never thought that it would be the devil-suppressing divine palace himself. My man has it, he can give you as much as you want. Little scoundrel, don't keep me guessing. Su Meiyao shouted out. Bai Ziqian was shocked. She had suspected that Chen Shang must have used some extraordinary thing to kill so many strong warriors. If it was a magical corruption gas, then it made sense. But this was very dangerous. If he was wanted like her, he would only end up running for his life. HMPH, Devil Suppressing Golden Body, Impenetrable. It seems like you've been under the demon and devil sinkhole before. Bai Ziqian looked at Chen Shang with a bit of bitterness. This kind of guy with impenetrable was the bane of poison masters like them. Su Meiyao laughed tenderly. Because you are a faint older sister, and he can give you, it's said that a woman like you who's covered with poison will die even if a man touches her, but my man is different. Devil Suppressing Golden Body, Impenetrable, if you want to have a taste of a man, I'm afraid only my man can satisfy you, hee. Quote. Ah, Chen Shang swept his eyes across the beautiful and ice-cold devil scorpion princess, and couldn't help but let his imagination run wild. Humph, Bai Ziqian snorted. Chen Shang hastily took out a jade box and handed it over to Bai Ziqian while grinning. This is a present I gave to Sister Ziqian. I have greatly offended you back then, please forgive me. Bai Ziqian opened it only to see a few white flowers inside the jade box. But after she gently caressed it, her body suddenly trembled. As a female poison demon, she knew what these white flowers were. It was the drunk god flower S, the drunk god scent S that could make one of the super old poison S. Had both kinds of super old poison, so this lecherous brat was too dangerous. Since he was using impenetrable, he would definitely not have any qualms when refining the poison, and even she and the demon empress who used poison had to be careful when dealing with super old poison. At that time, I saw those guys directly burning the drunk god flower to produce colorless and tasteless drunk god scent, but I felt that the poison wasn't strong enough. Chen Shang said, he also wanted to get stronger drunk god scent. Of course not. You have to refine it before you can directly burn it. How much do you have now? Bai Ziqian picked up a drunk god flower and took a whiff. He frowned. This drunk god flower is indeed powerful. If a normal person smelt it, they would have already been drunk to death. Chapter 1102. I have a lot, but it will take some time. Sister Yu is very worried for you, so I will do my best to give you as much as possible so that you will be safer. Look, what Chen Shang said was the truth. In the past, Su Meiyao had used the dragon cohesion Kung Fu to condense the dragon saliva and helped Bai Ziqian grow many poisonous flowers and herbs. Although the two of them had a grudge, the truth was that they had a good relationship. Sister Ziqian, do you have anything to store magical corruption gases? Yes. Bai Ziqian took out a bead, and it was about the same as LV Chinlian's from before. If possible, fill it up. After Chen Shang received it, he immediately transferred the magical corruption gas in his body into the pearl. You're actually hiding in your body. Bai Ziqian could not help but be surprised, but it was normal when he thought about it. Chen Zhang's devil-suppressing golden body was very powerful, the magical corruption gas could not do anything about it. When the time comes, I will think of a way to go to demon and devil sinkhole and get more. Now, Bai Ziqian knew why Su Meiyao had said that Chen Shang was very capable. Magical corruption gas and drunk god scent could be so many, even if she had searched for many years, it would still be difficult to find her. Hey, my man gave you so many good things, aren't you going to show some mercy? Su Meiyao said proudly. Bai Ziqian also knew that the reason Chen Shang gave her these two super old poison was because of Bai Yu. It was also because of Bai Yu that Chen Shang trusted her so much. But Bai Ziqian didn't know how to express it either. Chen Shang had the green dragon demon slain broadsword, heaven-earth killing method, and a dragon vein that she was extremely envious of. This brat's request is not high, it's fine as long as I kiss with him for a bit, hee, but the high and mighty devil scorpion princess would definitely not do so. She and Bai Ziqian had a grudge, but now that her man was helping her like this, it truly didn't feel good for Bai Ziqian. No need to thank me. Yu has given me a lot of help. Without her, I wouldn't be here today. Besides, this is nothing to me. As Chen Shang delivered the magical corruption gas into the pearl, he indeed did not mind thanking him. In his opinion, Bai Ziqian was family with him. Sister Meiyao, I'm your man after all. Do you think you can help your man seduce women? Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Su Meiyao. Little scoundrel, Big Sis is helping you take care of this woman. Sister, I know that you're just a playboy. It's not like I don't know that there's one more person like her, or one less person. Su Meiyao secretly transmitted to Chen Shang. You little scoundrel, don't tell me you didn't think of taking the two sisters down. I have only thought about it occasionally, but I think I know that I am a devil scorpion princess. What's that? Isn't your Shui Xiao Xian an elder sister Munger master and disciple? Weren't you the one who took it? Who are you that I don't know? Stop pretending to be a sheep in front of me, Su Meiyao said. Bai Ziqian indeed did not know how to thank Chen Shang, and drunk god scent and magical corruption gas were very important to her. Although Chen Shang did not want her to thank him, she felt apologetic about it, especially since Su Meiyao always used this matter to provoke her. Chen Shang did not want to make Bai Ziqian look bad. According to Bai Ziqian's surname, if he were to continue, he would definitely be tangled up, and anxiously said, Sister Ziqian, don't go wandering around too much during this period, and spend time with Miss Yu, simultaneously refining drunk god scent. Come in, I want to meet you too, Su Meiyao said. Bai Ziqian originally wanted to leave after meeting with Chen Shang, but she needed a lot of drunk god flower, so she had to stay for a period of time and enter the serene jade ring. As for what was going on inside, Chen Shang didn't know. After Chen Shang filled that bead with magical corruption gas, he gave it to Bai Ziqian who was inside the Yuyao ring. Then, he hurriedly left to find out about the examination to alchemist. After Bai Ziqian entered the ring, he found out that Bai Yu had been living a good life. If you want to become a gold rank alchemist, you must refine a high-grade ground-level pill. This was information that Chen Shang had gathered, and it was not easy to pass the examination. The level of alchemist here was around the same as DTN's Dan Alliance. To be able to refine 3 high-grade ground-level pills was already considered a part of the alchemy sect, and there were quite a few in the sacred city. As for the Dan Immortal S, there weren't many as well, and there were even fewer alchemists and they were hard to find. When that time comes, he would need sufficient energy to open up the sacred sacrificed altar in return. But the majority of the people who came were already dead, especially the people from the traders, none of them left alive. Chen Shang did not know if he could open the sacred sacrificed altar at that time, so he needed to increase his strength, and at the same time, collect more medicinal ingredients. The 5 elements profound Dan's medicinal ingredients. This is the medicine for a high-grade ground-level pill. Normally, the pill shop would not sell it. Quote, we don't sell medicinal herbs here. Profound, we won't sell or trade for that medicinal herb. Quote. Quote. Chen Shang went to a lot of pill stores and first bought some common high-grade ground-level medicinal ingredients, but none of them were willing to sell. He was only selling some low-leveled herbs, which made Chen Shang very depressed. Now he had no choice but to refine Relive Dan S first. Luckily he had a lot of ingredients for it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to get his hands on the high-grade ground-level pills. If you want the medicinal herbs, I'll help you snatch them. In any case, the powers here are all after me. I've long seen how impatient they are. She could see the things outside from inside, but Chen Shang rejected her idea. Doing this was too dangerous. It would not be good to get excited about the old fellow in the sacred city. The large pill shops in the sacred city were all very cautious. The number of heaven-level pills that came out was even less, and even if there were immortal pills, the quality would be very poor, and all of the immortal pills were for auction. High-level pills were usually for their own use, only the poor ones would be sold. As for the herbs of heaven level and above, they would rarely appear on the market. This was to prevent the other party from buying them and then collecting them as a reserve resource. Chen Shang kept having the feeling that the sacred Dan realm on this side, as well as the various great powers, all had a blood feud. Could it be that a great battle is brewing here? Chen Shang felt that he needed to get rid of the core members of the powers in order to know a few things. Only then would he be able to get his hands on the treasures here, get a large sum of money, and then leave. If I can kill the Prince Imperial Dragon, isn't it just a mere sacred Dan realm? Chen Shang thought silently in his heart. He returned to his living quarters and began to condense Creation Divine Liquid S. He wanted to obtain more Drunk God Flower S for Bai Ziqian so that she could refine some of them. Chapter 1103. Chen Shang had tried to refine a Relive Dan before, but without succeeding, it was difficult to continue. He could only do it twice now, and in his opinion, he would need to do it at least 4 times before he could continue refining the Relive Dan to the peak. Now, he could only try to use the method of refining Qi Shen Dan. He had already collected the 3 main ingredients for Relive Dan, returning herb, white jade lotus seed and 9 primordial flower long ago. With the exception of Creation Divine Liquid, he could make a lot of them. In the sealed room, Chen Shang quickly took care of all the medicinal ingredients and threw them into the Yanlong furnace, injecting them inside. Afterwards, he released his divine power, wanting to try and see if he could enter into the interior of the medicinal ingredients and communicate with them, so that they would not become so stubborn. If it was like when he was refining the Qi Shendan and he could see the inner world of the spirit herbs, then it would be very easy for him, and now he could only use the old method, foreseeing alchemy. I can barely activate the third stage of foreseeing alchemy now. Let's see how long I can last. Chen Zhang's foundation was not bad. Although he had tried a method to refine a Qi Shendan, it did not burst, and after that, according to the situation in the furnace, he started to use the foreseeing alchemy. With 3 levels of foreseeing alchemy, he simultaneously simulated 3 different paths of this cauldron in his mind. After that, he combined the 3 paths and obtained the most accurate result, and then used this correct result to continuously correct his mistakes. Was extremely proficient in using the dual foreseeing alchemy S, but now that there was only an additional layer of the 3 stages of foreseeing alchemy, it made him extremely uncomfortable, especially with such a shocking amount of calculation. In every second of calculation, he had to pay attention to countless other details, and even fuse the 3 stages. In just a split second, many things appeared in his mind. If he wasn't used to it, his head would start to hurt from the pain. If it was severe, his head would be paralyzed. Persist. Chen Shang closed his eyes tightly. At this moment, he felt as if his entire head was trembling crazily. The scene of his brain refining a pill had appeared out of nowhere and then quickly fused together again. As long as he found anything wrong, he would immediately adjust the fire inside the furnace to prevent it from failing. Su Meiyao had said before, that the 3rd layer of foreseeing alchemy was enough to refine a high-grade ground-level pill. Although it was only an additional layer, it was still very deadly. No, if I continue like this, even if I can produce just 1 pill, I won't be able to obtain any guarantee of its quality. I need at least 3 pills, or else I will be unworthy of this batch of medicinal herbs. Chen Shang clenched his teeth, and shouted loudly. In his mind, an additional scene of calculation appeared. I have divine soul, my divine power is so thick, I can definitely hold on for a while. Previously, I did not try, but because I was scared, because of fear, I kept thinking about slowly leveling up from the 2nd stage of foreseeing alchemy, but I was wrong. Chen Shang had already found out why he couldn't level up in the foreseeing alchemy, precisely because he was too afraid of this heavy foreseeing alchemy. It was because he had previously tried 3 levels of the foreseeing alchemy, but in the end, he was unable to hold on because he felt that his foundation wasn't sufficient. Even when he was more than 10 levels away, he already felt extremely powerless, because the 3rd stage was already so powerful. The later stages would be even more difficult. Of course, because the heavenly alchemy was also one of the reasons, he kept having the feeling that he could rely on it to replace that. Although heavenly alchemy could refine many unique pills, it was just a regular pill that couldn't. If you don't learn the foreseeing alchemy well, from today onwards, you will not be able to hold the heavenly alchemy in your hands either. The foreseeing alchemy is the foundation of the heavenly alchemy. Quote. This would allow him to refine relive Dan S without making any more small mistakes. This way, it would not cause too many medicine aura to be lost, and would allow him to use a portion of the ingredients to the limit, producing more pills and higher quality pills. Sure enough, it was as he had expected, the pressure on the brain was about the same as the pressure on the 3rd stage of the foreseeing alchemy. Although it was very difficult for many people to practice the 4th stage of the foreseeing alchemy, before they could grasp the 3rd stage, if they tried to practice it easily, they would only end up suffering a headache or their own sea of consciousness being damaged. Potential. I am a spirit cultivator, and I have a lot of potential. In terms of multiple foreseeing alchemy S, I am definitely above average, but I need to dig it out myself. Quote. Chen Shang realized that although it was very difficult to execute the 4th stage of foreseeing alchemy, the situation was similar to that of the 3rd stage. 5th stage. Chen Shang shouted in his heart, and an additional scene of training was recited silently in his mind. From the 2nd stage to the 5th stage, Chen Zhang's divine sense C was unceasingly churning as his divine power rapidly drained. However, this was exactly the effect Chen Shang wanted, as only then would he be able to unceasingly unearth the potential of his divine power. Although he cultivated his mind, the divine power he obtained from cultivation would usually be used in a state where he used it to the limit, resulting in the divine sense C's tempering to be very little. But now, he allowed his divine sense C to be the same as his physical body, undergo a cruel baptism, in order to make his divine soul stronger. Bang! The Yanlong furnace trembled slightly, and Chen Shang immediately fainted as well. The divine power in his mind had already dried up, and just now, he had been continuously using the 5th stage of foreseeing alchemy, but he did not know how to use it, which resulted in his divine power being drained crazily. When Bai Ziqian came out of the ring, he saw the unconscious Chen Shang bleeding from her eyes and couldn't help but frown. Then, he took out some water to help him wash his eyes. "Is he okay?" Bai Yu asked. "It's nothing. I just expended too much energy. I really don't know what he's doing. It's just forging a cauldron of pills, isn't it? You made yourself into this." This was the first time she took so much care of a man. "Hey, don't take advantage of my man," Su Meiyao shouted. "Will I take advantage of him? What's so good about him?" Bai Ziqian didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She was currently taking care of Su Meiyao, but she was actually being suspected by Su Meiyao, which made her a little angry. She reached her hand into Chen Zhang's clothes and pinched the pea in Chen Zhang's chest. "Stinking brat, back then you squeezed me so hard." Just then, Chen Shang opened his eyes and saw the scene before him. He screamed. "Pervert, what did you do to me?" Chen Shang was like a girl being violated, cowering in a corner. She was purposely provoking Bai Ziqian just now. If she hadn't said that, Bai Ziqian wouldn't have pinched the beans on Chen Zhang's chest out of frustration. Bai Ziqian's cold and beautiful jade face slightly flushed, but she was, after all, a 10,000-year demon girl, so she said with a heavy face, "You fainted, and I was only worried for your safety, so I took the chance to take care of you for you. Chapter 1104. Chen Shang tidied up his clothes, and snorted, "I'll take care of you, but there's no need to pinch me. You squeezed mine so easily, and even pinched mine." "You," Bai Ziqian snorted, then entered the ring and stopped arguing with Chen Shang. He was indeed very similar to Bai Yu. "Look. Little scoundrel, she took advantage of you. I'll help you teach her a lesson, and I'll help you get her back, hee." Su Meiyao laughed. "This isn't fair, I'm the one who should pinch," Chen Shang said with jealousy. "There will be a chance another time. It's fine if you pinch me, and you can kiss me." Damn seductress, it's really hard for people to concentrate. Chen Shang thought about Su Meiyao's beautiful jade body, and his heart suddenly moved. He had touched her body quite a few times before and even had a shower with Su Meiyao. He suddenly felt that it had been a long time since he had had a taste of her skin. Su Meiyao and the others did not know that Chen Shang had fainted because he had used the 5th stage of foreseeing alchemy, and Chen Shang did not tell them that he wanted to surprise them. It was normal for him to faint, so Su Meiyao was not surprised. Back then, it was the same for her as well, as Bai Yu was always by her side to take care of her at that time. Chen Shang cultivated the divine way, and after he fainted, his divine soul quickly recovered, which was why he was able to wake up very quickly, and that was why Bai Ziqian had been so embarrassed just now. Now that Su Meiyao was using this matter to tease her, his jade-like hands were still carelessly stroking Bai Ziqian's body, and the conflict between the two of them had already started to slowly dissolve. "It looks like 5 stages of foreseeing alchemy is my current limit. Once I have grasped all 5 stages of foreseeing alchemy, I will proceed with 6, 7 stages, otherwise, my divine soul will be wasted." Quote. Chen Shang now realized that as a spirit cultivator, he should not only have such achievements in the field of alchemy. However, with his previous experience, he knew how to control it cleverly. It would not cause the god power to surge out endlessly, if not, he would have fainted again by then. If not for that, he might have already succeeded by now. The 3 main medicines of the Relive Dan were not simple. It was difficult to burn them, and their self-defense was also very strong, so they would not easily open up the inner world to humans. They were also tightly guarded against it. In other words, the higher the grade of these medicinal herbs, the stronger their spirit. His face was filled with pain, and his head was in extreme pain. He never thought that the 5th stage of foreseeing alchemy would be so terrifying, especially when the medicine aura was fusing with it. This time, he still had a lot of divine power left, but he was unable to deal with the sudden large amount of information, which was the 5th stage of foreseeing alchemy. The Yanlong furnace exploded again. His vision became blurry and he was swaying. However, he did not faint this time. He only took a few deep breaths and his vision became much clearer. "I will definitely be able to grasp the 5th stage of foreseeing alchemy." Chen Shang felt that he was just a bit off, but this was all because he didn't have any experience. If he had known earlier that the 5th stage of foreseeing alchemy would explode with so many things at that time, he would definitely have been prepared. However, he felt that this would allow him to grasp the 5th stage of the foreseeing alchemy even faster. As long as he refined all the high-grade ground-level pills once, he would be able to break through to the heaven level. Now, he was not only learning how to refine higher-level pills, but he was also learning how to refine higher-level pills. The third time, after resting, Chen Shang placed the Relive Dan's medicinal ingredients into the furnace. At this time, the sky was already dark. Although he failed again, he improved a lot, but this time, because he was too persistent, his own divine soul suffered damage, and he had no choice but to use a few days' time to repair it. He also used these few days to condense his own creation divine liquid. Although her impenetrable was not as strong as Chen Zhang's, her ability to resist poison was still very strong. However, when she was refining the drunk god scent, she could not help but feel weak, and whenever this happened, the bored Su Meiyao would always come in and bully her. She would only use her fingers to poke her body a few times, but she would not dare to touch this poisonous woman, unless she also had Chen Zhang's body, which was similar to Chen Zhang's. In the blink of an eye, Chen Shang had stayed in this room for more than 3 months. During this time, he did not refine another Relive Dan, but rather, started refining the 5th stage of foreseeing alchemy. This kind of connection also helped him to a certain extent. Bai Ziqian was indeed worthy of being called the female poisonous demon of this generation. Her progress was much faster than Chen Zhang's. 2 months ago, she had already refined the drunk god flower into a very small, transparent powder. Previously, it was just gases, but once these powders were absorbed, they were truly huge amounts. A large amount of poison could increase the numbing power even more, and Chen Shang also continuously used Creation Divine Liquid S to duplicate many Drunk God Flower S, allowing Bai Ziqian to refine a large amount of Drunk God Powder S. In this period of time, Bai Ziqian had already understood why Su Meiyao said that Chen Shang was strong. That heaven-defying Creation Divine Liquid caused Bai Ziqian to be extremely envious. She also had some poisonous flowers and poisonous herbs that she needed to cultivate normally. If it wasn't for the fact that she had a lot of things to do, she would have pestered Chen Shang not to leave this place and plant even more poisonous flowers and herbs. Chen Shang had also given some of his poison flowers and poisonous grasses too, allowing her to struggle against him. This made Bai Ziqian owe him more, causing him to yell all day about asking her to pay with her. I must succeed this time. Chen Shang felt that it was enough. When he used the Foreseeing Alchemy's 5 stages to refine the Relive Dan, he could make 3 pellets in a single furnace. After placing the ingredients inside the furnace, Chen Zhang's expression was extremely calm. If it was before, he would have had a headache and his face would have turned ugly. 5 levels of Foreseeing Alchemy, the results of each instantaneous calculation had to be fused together, and then, the result of the fusion could be used for the next instant of tempering. With 1 level of tempering, it would be 5 different types of tempering at the same time. Chapter 1105, she also secretly wished for Chen Zhang's success. Right now, she did not have that much of a prejudice against Chen Shang, but just like Su Meiyao had said, Chen Shang was a very cute little bad boy, with unlimited potential. He was someone with a high hopes of becoming a 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Sister Ziqian, where do you plan to go from now on? It's very safe for you to be with us right now, and you can still be with Huan. Su Meiyao said. Revenge, my enemies shouldn't be any less than you. Now that I have drunk God scent, I must let that group of people have a good look. Quote. Bai Ziqian was extremely confident. Not only did she have drunk God scent S, she also had a large number of magical corruption gas S, and these priceless treasures were all gifted to her by Chen Shang. So she really wanted to repay Chen Shang with all of his gifts, but with her personality it was definitely not just with words alone. If you have the chance in the future, go to DTN. Come to Dragon Subduing School. Join this kid's Dragon Subduing Legion. Maybe he'll give you an elder or something. Su Meiyao laughed. I still can't do it. I'm used to wandering alone. I'll think about it when I'm really tired in the future. Bai Ziqian was indeed like that, and she was a person that was hard to get together with, because her entire body was poisonous, and her surname was Zhe, and her temper was strong. Chen Shang had already reached the core formation stage, and from start to finish, he had been very successful. Done. Chen Shang used more than 6 hours of time to carefully proceed forward, and finally succeeded. Opening the pill furnace, he saw a familiar Relive Dan, and it was of high quality. Although he had a few Relive Dan, he had never refined them himself. Bai Ziqian also came out from the Yin Yao ring, looked at the 3 high-quality Relive Dan, and then looked at the exhausted Chen Shang. Now that she had personally witnessed Chen Zhang's inherent skill in refining pills, she couldn't help but exclaim in surprise, she was once a weak person as well. At that time, Relive Dan were considered treasures to her, but Chen Shang had only refined 3 of them in one furnace. Sister Ziqian, do you want to try it? Chen Shang laughed. No need, I will only waste it. Bai Ziqian gave Chen Shang a piece of paper, and said, on it are the experiences I had in refining drunk god powder. The drunk god flour you have given me these days is more than enough for me to use for a long time. Chen Shang kept the piece of paper carefully. It was true that he had produced a lot of drunk god flour, but he had given the majority of them to Bai Ziqian. Bai Ziqian was a little reluctant to part with them because they were both very happy to have Bai Ziqian with them for the duration of his stay. Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu were even more reluctant to part with them, it was just that Bai Ziqian had many things he needed to do. I will remember your kindness. When I finish my business, I will come back to find you. You have the green dragon demon slain broadsword, heaven earth killing method and dragon veins, I believe that you will one day become a 10 heavens supreme lord. At that time, I will do my best to help you. Bai Ziqian said very sincerely. Then, I will thank Sister Ziqian first. Chen Shang laughed. Bai Ziqian gently caressed his face, revealing a slight smile. Don't die, whether my sister and that little demon will recover her strength will all depend on you. After Bai Ziqian left, Chen Shang tidied up his mood, took out the Relive Dan's medicinal ingredients and continued refining. Previously, he did not use the accelerating array inside the Yanlong furnace, so it was a little slow. Originally, he had planned to keep Bai Ziqian alive for a period of time and refine a few super Relive Dan for her. However, that would take a very long time, at least a year or 2. Little scoundrel, why are you still not thanking me? Bai Ziqian has already fallen for you. Su Meiyao secretly said to Chen Shang. She did not know that Su Meiyao and Chen Shang had plans to harm her sister. No way, I'm just thanking you. Chen Shang did not believe that a female poisonous demon like Bai Ziqian would fall for a kid like him. Even though he had been together with Bai Yuyu for so long, it had only barely moved Bai Yuyu's heart. I am a woman, I know a woman better than you do. Don't look down on yourself, I've taken a fancy to you. Do you really think that this sister is playing with you? Su Meiyao scoffed, I knew it, your sister Yuyu is the only one in your heart. Su Meiyao was very clear about Chen Zhang's desire to conquer this kind of ice beauty. Of course not, when I first saw you, I deeply imprinted you in my soul. Chen Shang said. It's such a cliché, but I'm still very happy. Su Meiyao laughed tenderly. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm still recovering from my injuries, I would definitely be your real woman. But if there's a chance, Big Sis would still be happy to bathe together with you. Chen Shang secretly sighed. He decided that after returning to the evil dragon graveyard, he would thoroughly wash up with this demon. 10 days later, Chen Shang had completely grasped how to refine a Relive Dan. What he needed to do now was to obtain the ingredients for a high-grade ground-level pellet, and then find a way to get some of the ingredients for the heaven-level pellet from those large powers. He had ample time to complete all of these. Chen Shang went to a palace in the sacred city called the Sacred Pill Palace. To take the test, he would need to register inside the Golden S, and then someone would arrange for the test, and all they needed to do was refine a batch of high-grade ground-level pills. The registration fee is already over 10,000 spiritual crystal F*C King expensive. When Bai Ziqian left, he gave Chen Shang 20,000 spiritual crystal because he did not have much left either. She had even used up all of the poison flowers and plants that Bai Ziqian bought. You're here just in time for the assessment in the afternoon. You can take it. When you come here in the afternoon, someone will arrange for you to take the exam. The old man handed over a proof to Chen Shang. Chen Shang stayed inside the palace until the afternoon. Only now did he know that when he participated in the exam, he was in the same place as a large group of people. Chen Shang followed that group of people into a quiet hall, and then, everyone sat down according to their respective seats. Everyone, please wait a moment. Someone will bring the medicinal herbs and pill furnaces you requested. An old man said. When Chen Shang signed up, he said that she was refining Relive Dan. He did not expect the Sacred Pill Palace to provide her with medicinal ingredients, which surprised him a little. Just at this moment, an old man sent a sound transmission to him. It was the old man from the Invigilator. Kid, place a storage bag in front of you. If it contains 100,000 spar, we will give you a good pill furnace and a good quality medicine. Chen Shang was shocked. he never thought that there would be such an unwritten rule during the assessment. Chapter 1106. Arrogant Pill God. Arrogant Pill God. Even if there were so many spiritual crystals, Chen Shang would never let them go, let alone if he didn't have any right now. Baidu search. 13,800,100. Looking at this, he saw that the other participants all took out a storage bag and placed it in front of him. At this time, an old man came to collect it. As long as he confirmed that the storage bag had 100,000 spiritual crystal, the old man would take out a good quality pill furnace and 3 sets of ingredients for a high-grade ground-level pill. This was the first time Chen Shang came to participate in an examination, so he did not know about these unspoken rules. Other people seemed to have long been prepared for it, but when the old man saw that he was not concerned with it, he reminded him again. It was just that he did not take out 100,000 spiritual crystal. Everyone looked at Chen Shang with furrowed brows, but many of them knew that he did not know how to conduct himself, so they were not prepared. In their eyes, Chen Shang would definitely fail this time round and even waste the registration fee. This caused Chen Shang to feel extremely displeased. His impression of the holy city had been greatly reduced. He really wanted to know who was in charge of this sacred pill palace, to be in such darkness. If this was DTN, he would have disregarded everything and burned this place down. There were quite a few experts in the sacred city, and a few of them had strength equivalent to the Super Yuan sect leader. Thus, he decided to keep a low profile. The quality of these ingredients was not good, but they could still be used for alchemy. Even if they were abandoned, he could still refine Relive Dan out of them. He had to concoct 3 batches of high-grade ground-level pills in a row, and he had to succeed 3 batches, and he couldn't even fail once, so he couldn't be careless. In the eyes of many, the quality of the ingredients and pill furnaces were related to success or failure, and although this matter was displeasing, he still had to obediently hand over 100,000 spiritual crystal. When Chen Shang saw the expressions of the few older invigilators, his heart was not worried about whether he would be able to refine Relive Dan, but whether the old men would stop him after he had refined them. He had told them many times about this kind of people, since 100,000 spiritual crystal was a huge sum of money for him. Unless it was a very famous alchemist, he would only take a fancy to this kind of spiritual crystal. Although the quality of the pill furnace was low, in Chen Zhang's opinion, it was enough. The ingredients needed to refine a Relive Dan were not good, and they were the kind that only those old people would use to make things difficult for others. He had brought all the supplementary medicine himself, so Chen Zhang's supplementary medicine was very heaven-defying. It could make up for the deficiency in the main medicine. As long as you refine 3 batches of pills within 6 hours, you will be considered as having passed the test to become a golden alchemist. You can take the pills you refined yourself. An old man said as he looked at the crowd. When he glanced at Chen Shang, he purposely revealed a fierce expression. We'll start now. If we cheat, we'll throw him out. The registration fee would be 10,000 spiritual crystals, and for the high-grade ground-level pills, he would only need to pay 600 to 700 spiritual crystals, 3 batches at most, and 3 pellets at the very most. This Saint Pill Palace was making a huge profit, not to mention the additional 100,000 spiritual crystals that were charged according to the unspoken rules. At the same time, he also prevented ordinary people from fighting with him for benefits. To put it bluntly, he was exploiting ordinary people, and the ones who earned the most were the people at the highest level, followed by a small portion of alchemists. People were not allowed to trade elixirs in the sacred city. If discovered, it would be considered a violation of the rules and would be blacklisted. The reason was that it was to prevent people from using inferior elixirs to swindle Yun. All in all, it was quite impressive. The world is as dark as a crow. I wonder if this was the case when the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord was here. Chen Shang thought. Everyone was already on fire, and all the pill furnaces were emitting a faint flame. All the alchemists who came to participate in the exam were at a decent level. This ability to control fire was hard to come by even in DTN's case. Chen Shang suddenly had an idea, which was to bring back a large group of outstanding alchemists. If his dragon subduing school wanted to become stronger, he would need a certain number of outstanding alchemists. In order to not attract too much attention, Chen Shang only planned to refine a Relive Dan in one go. Furthermore, he had to slow down the concocting process by a lot, and if he revealed too much of his edge, it would bring about a lot of trouble. Chen Shang had already mastered the first 5 stages of foreseeing alchemy, but he was only using the 4th stage now. This would make it much easier for him. To him, concocting a batch of relived Dan in 4 hours was like playing around. When the elders in charge of supervising the examination saw that Chen Shang had succeeded in concocting a batch of relived Dan, they were all secretly unhappy in their hearts. They hoped that Chen Shang would fail the next batch. This caused the other alchemists to have a whole new level of respect for Chen Shang. Originally, they thought that Chen Shang was a fool who did not understand the rules, and did not think that such a person could refine pills that easily, but now that Chen Shang had refined 2 batches of relived Dan in a row, they all admired him from the bottom of their heart. In the eyes of these alchemists, the low-quality pill furnaces and the low-quality medicinal ingredients were extremely difficult to refine into pills. For Chen Shang to be able to do it, it meant that his level surpassed most of the alchemists here. Only a few had failed, and most had succeeded. It had already been 5 hours, and the rest of the people had already left, because their ingredients and pill furnaces were all good. Very soon, they had completed their examination and were going to claim a gold medal. Of course, if Chen Shang had not deliberately slowed down, the fastest person to complete the examination would have been him. Chen Shang was deliberately delaying until it was almost over before he could open the pill furnace, especially when he saw the impatient looks of the old men. He laughed and sighed. If not for Chen Shang, these old men would have left 6 hours ago. But now, they had to wait for Chen Shang to arrive at the end, as they all had alchemists, so they could tell that Chen Zhang's level wasn't low. If he had good medicinal ingredients and pill furnaces, he would definitely be faster than the other alchemists. Of course, they thought that Chen Shang would lose very soon. An hour before the end, Chen Shang opened the lid of the pill furnace and took out a relived Dan. "I'm done," Chen Shang said. At this time, he saw a crafty look in the elders' eyes. "Time is up, you can come next time." An old man sneered. "Isn't there still an hour left?" Chen Shang said angrily in his heart. Another old man shouted, "If I say the time is up, then it's time. Scram quickly, otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. Scram, we pretended we didn't see you cheating. Don't think that we don't know that you're cheating. We are only giving you a second chance, let you come back next time." Next time, was it giving away 100,000 spiritual crystal? Chen Shang laughed coldly in his heart as he clenched his fists so hard that they crackled loudly. Originally, he did not intend to cause any big ruckus, but he felt that these few old fellows in front of him were too overbearing and could not be forgiven. Arrogant Pill God. Chapter 1107. You're not leaving? Fine, we will treat you as a cheat. As long as we shout, you will be thrown out. Quote. What are you looking at? Get lost, you ungrateful fellow. Quote. Seeing how Chen Zhang's eyes were filled with a murderous light, the few old men felt that Chen Shang was in danger. Come, an old man wanted to say something, but only one word came out. The top of his throat had an extra sword, a green engraved dragon sword, which was the sword Chen Shang used to transform into a green dragon demon slain broadsword, and directly pierced through the old man's armor, and pierced through his throat. No need to shout, I'll send you on your way faster. The furious Chen Shang said in a low voice as he quickly slapped the old man's abdomen with his palm. The dense innate chi that was formed from the 30 heaven pills fiercely rushed out and turned into the power of the universe. Heaven Blasting Palm. Such a powerful innate chi unleashed Heaven Blasting Palm. Not only did it shatter the old man's body into mincemeat, it also knocked away the 3 old men who were charging towards him. These elderly men were just people who had gone through 7 tribulations and 8 tribulations. Chen Shang didn't need the dragon power, he didn't need the heaven-earth killing method to kill them easily. I'll make you all act arrogantly. Chen Shang unleashed the water vine, entangling the 3 elders who had opened their eyes. Then, with the speed of shrinking step, he flashed past the 3 elders in an instant and struck them 3 times with the Heaven Blasting Palm, killing them with a single palm. The Heaven Blasting Palm shook the entire sacred pill hall. Chen Shang could sense that a lot of people were charging in and plucking the storage magic treasures of these elders. Then, they would activate their spatial laws and travel through space to directly leave the sacred pill hall through the walls. He had failed to take the test for the gold medal alchemist S, but Chen Shang did not lose anything, and instead earned quite a bit of money. Amongst the old men's storage magic treasure, there were only a few that could be opened, with a total of more than 2 million spiritual crystal. These spiritual crystal were all collected from the unwritten rules just now. These fellows made a huge profit every time they took the examination, so it was no wonder that they would do this. Chen Shang had changed his appearance, so he did not need to worry about being discovered. Originally, he had only wanted to get a gold medal alchemist in a low profile, and then sneak into a pill shop to get some high-grade medicinal ingredients for a large number of copies. It was just that during the assessment, those old geezers had gone too far and caused him to go into a rage, killing them all. This matter caused a huge stir in the Holy City, causing the upper echelons of the Holy City to be furious. The high bounty was a clue, because it had been a long time since there had been someone who dared to provoke the rules of the Holy City. In terms of refining high-grade ground-level pills, they were still pretty good. Over the years, many of the people who participated in the examination knew that these old geezers would deliberately collect some fees, and in the sacred city, they would just keep their eyes closed. Some suspected that the spiritual crystals these old geezers collected would be distributed to some of the powers in the sacred city. The sacred city was protected by many powerful forces, and now that such a thing had happened, the people were all guessing that person's identity. He was so daring to kill one of the 4 great fosses. The 4 old men that Chen Shang had killed were all sent here by the 4 great clans. He only found out afterwards that the strongest powers here were the 4 great clans, namely the Long, Sha, Han and Xie clans. Little naughty dragon, I wonder what kind of relationship the Long family has with the dragon family. If we meet them, would you be able to tell that they have the bloodline of a dragon in their bodies? Chen Shang asked. Of course I can feel it, don't forget who I am the reincarnation of an ancient ancestor dragon, the future heavenly dragon supreme lord. Chen Shang directly ignored the bragging behind her. He wouldn't accept the alchemist's test during this period of time, because if he wanted to investigate that matter, it would take at least half a year. Let's see if we can steal it first. These 4 noble families are too powerful. They monopolize everything and won't allow anyone to buy or sell it privately. Chen Shang did not have any good impressions towards the 4 great families, and during the assessment, he had already experienced the dark side of these powers, so he could only come up with this plan. Chen Shang was very curious about the relationship between the Long family and the Long family here, so the first person he looked for was the Long family. In the Holy City, the Long family occupied a large area. The pill shops here were all owned by the Long family, and all sorts of shops were run by the Long family. Outsiders couldn't enter this area at all, and the things here were extremely expensive. Holy Dragon Hall. This was a restaurant. Chen Shang found the name Holy Dragon funny, because he had killed a small holy dragon not long ago. Chen Shang knew that this restaurant was very expensive, but he had just snatched over 2 million spiritual crystals. He looked like a young man with average looks, just that his clothes were shabby. Originally, the waiter did not want to entertain him, but seeing the brilliant spiritual crystal in his hands, he immediately welcomed him with a smile, and anxiously asked Chen Shang what he wanted to eat. First, let's have a roasted crane, a pot of 1,000-year immortal wine brewed with the 100 flowers immortal dew, and then we'll add a few small dishes of the immortal beast's meat. Chen Shang had eaten holy dragons before, but those were eaten from refining pills. He had never tasted the meat of holy dragons before, which made him somewhat regretful. However, Long Shui had said that although there weren't many holy dragons in Imperial Dragon Clan, there were still quite a few of them, so there was still a chance to eat grilled dragon meat in the future. The dishes that Chen Shang had ordered were all very expensive, even if it was just a few deities, he could barely afford to eat them. But now, he had ordered so many dishes by himself, he looked just like a nouveau riche. Some people secretly disdained him in their hearts, but they were still envious. After all, not everyone had so many spiritual crystal to squander. When the dishes came, Chen Shang split them into 2 and placed the other half into the ring, allowing Long Shui, the little gluttonous dragon, to eat some meat. She ate those strange flowers and herbs as well as some pills every day, which made Chen Shang sick of looking at them. Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu were also tasting these dishes. In the past, they had all eaten this before, but it had been a while since they had tasted this kind of food, so tasting it now would be good as well. After Chen Shang finished eating his fill, he saw a big-sized man walking in. He was dressed in golden scale armor, making him look even more ferocious. In his hand was a gold piece of paper, which the shopkeeper placed on a conspicuous place. This big guy has a faint dragon aura. This Long family really does have something to do with dragons. Long Shui said. This large man was clearly a member of the Long family. Moreover, after he walked in, the people eating here all seemed very nervous. After sticking the golden paper on top, Chen Shang immediately took a look at the contents on it. At first, he thought it was a bounty or something, but it was not, it was a recruitment notice. The person who had sent out this announcement was actually the precious daughter of the Long family head. Chapter 1108. Not only Chen Shang, many people were attracted by the contents of the notice and were even discussing it after they finished reading it. Isn't this Long Huishan actually the daughter of the Long family's patriarch? To actually want to recruit people outside to go with her to the Dragon Cave. Quote. That's right, the Long family has so many experts, do we need to spend so many spiritual crystals to invite outsiders? What is the purpose of this? Could it be that he had specially recruited someone to send them to their deaths? Who didn't know of the dangers of Dragon Cave? If we don't go in and out, even the most powerful Immortal King wouldn't dare to go in. Quote. 500,000 spiritual crystal per month, and there were even pills to provide on the way. To many people, this was indeed an enticing task. To have strength above the Nirvana tribulation, one had to pass Long Huishan's personal test. From the discussions of the crowd, Chen Shang already knew what kind of place the Dragon Cave was. It was a dangerous place, where a dragon once lived, but it was very dangerous inside. A dragon. This made Chen Shang think of the dragon Chaotic Mountain had spoken of. It was this dragon that took away 27 treasure chests, leaving behind only 3. He guessed that the dragon that lived in the Dragon Cave before was this darned dragon. Chen Shang immediately rushed to the Long family's place that specialized in selling magic treasures. Because the assessment would take place right here, he didn't dare go to that place by himself. Long Huishan guessed that since Long Huishan was the only daughter of the Long family patriarch, she would definitely protect him well. Chen Shang originally thought that he was the first person to arrive, but he didn't think that there would already be a large group of people queuing up here. Are these shameless fellows here to take a look at the Long family's eldest daughter? Aren't they afraid of being despised if they fail the examination? Chen Shang really wanted to slap the thin guy in front of him flying. Suddenly, a slightly angry but pleasant voice came from inside the shop. Those who have yet to undergo the 5 Nirvana tribulations are not allowed to come. If you don't listen to the warning, I will let him have a taste of the power of the 5th Nirvana tribulation. While there were only 3 people in front of Chen Shang, he could already see Long Huishan. Her figure was not bad, she was tall enough, with legs long enough, although her chest was not very big, but it was just nice. It was just that her face was covered by a white veil, and only her forehead, the base willow-shaped eyebrows, and her pair of beautiful and intelligent eyes were visible. As long as you pull this sword out, even if you pass the examination, I will immediately arrange for someone to serve you. Long Huishan wore a plain white dress, she didn't seem like a big miss at all. She waved the golden sword in her hand, and the golden sheath released a faint golden light. It looked like this sword was not simple, it was actually very similar to the Holy Dragon sword that he had obtained. This sword was being played with by Long Shui all day, but Long Shui disliked the Holy Dragon sword being too weak, it could only be considered a toy. This woman has the power of an ice dragon. The people of the Long family should have the blood of an ice dragon. I actually can't remember there's a powerful ice dragon in the Imperial Dragon clan. Long Shui said. She has the strength of an immortal. Be careful, don't let her see anything. Chen Shang looked at the person in front of him. His strength was not weak, he had endured the 8 Nirvana tribulations. When he picked up the sword, his hand actually trembled a little. Chen Shang could clearly see a burst of cold chi flowing out of the man's arm. This sword actually had such a terrifying icy cold power. The man hastily put down his sword, took a deep breath, shook his head, and turned away. Chen Shang suspected that the Dragon Cave must be an ice cave. If not, this young Miss Long would not test someone's ability to resist the cold. Mr. Wang, you are also interested in Dragon Cave? Long Huishan said to the old man next to him. Mr. Wang should be famous, if not Long Huishan would not call him that. I've been wanting to go for a while now, but I can't find a good team. The white-haired old man smiled and picked up the golden sheathed sword on the table. This old fellow is an immortal, and it seems like he's an alchemist. Long Shui said. This sword should be an ice dragon sword without a mistake. I don't know much about ice dragons, all I know is that many years ago, the ice dragon branch and the other dragons were at odds. Long Huishan's expectations for Mr. Wang was high. As expected, after the old man picked up the ice-cold sword, he did not look like the previous person, but he still took half a cup of tea to stabilize his trembling arm, and dispel the cold energy in his body. He slowly pulled the sword out, and only saw a cold glimmer on the sword's body. A gust of cold air immediately gushed out, causing the surroundings to be covered in frost. Chen Shang was sure that the sword was a holy level dragon artifact, like the Holy Dragon sword. Mr. Wang, you've passed. Please, come next. Long Huishan was very happy, and said very gently, she really did not have any airs of being a young miss, which made the observing men exclaim in their hearts, because they usually only heard about the young miss of the Long family and did not show her face. There was still another person in front of Chen Shang, but this one was already frozen just now. After he dispelled the cold energy from his body, he quickly left. That guy is also an immortal. Although he has just become an immortal, he is still too useless. Why did he suddenly run away like that? Long Shui snorted. Chen Zhang's body was also covered in frost, but there was nothing happening inside his body. When the people behind him saw the sword, they all scattered, because the sword had not even been completely unsheathed, and he had almost frozen the deity to death. As people who had experienced the Nirvana realm, how could they dare to touch it? Are you from the Nirvana tribulation? You have already seen the power of this sword, so you should have retreated in the face of danger. Long Huishan looked at Chen Shang with a pair of beautiful eyes, her gentle eyes carried goodwill. I have just passed the Nirvana tribulation. Chen Shang said indifferently, I think I can unsheath this sword. Behind Long Huishan, there were two sturdy golden armored men, they were not weak either. Hearing Chen Zhang's words, they sneered. Even our seventh miss can't be completely pulled out, can you? Who do you think you are? The big man couldn't help but sneer. That's right, this sword is very powerful, but I am not afraid of being taken away. The person who took this sword away must have frozen to death before he could even walk out of Holy City. Long Huishan said as he nodded his head. Chen Shang really wanted to pick up this sword and run away. He wanted to see if he really could not leave the sacred city, since this sword was a holy level dragon artifact. What if I can pull it out? Chen Shang really wanted this sword. How about you give it to me? Everyone immediately scolded him. If you can't pull it out, then it's yours. If you can't, then leave. Do you have a white wolf in your hand? Quote. That's right, even an immortal like old man Wang almost burped from the cold. Do you think you're an immortal king? Chen Shang did not care about these words, he only looked at the golden sheathed sword on the table, wanting to see through it with his divine power. Chapter 1109. Chen Shang stared at the ice dragon sword intently, causing the two men behind Long Huishan to be worried that he would suddenly take action to snatch it away, and kept their guards up. This ice dragon sword is not simple, I feel that there is a very familiar power within. There is a problem with the sword sheath. The sword sheath is different from the holy dragon sword's sword sheath. If you look carefully, the material of this sword sheath is the same as the 3 treasure chests. Long Shui anxiously said. The 3 treasure chests that he got from the chaotic mountain could not be opened. Now that he had some idea of them, how could he not be excited? It was just that this ice dragon sword belonged to someone else, and he could already feel that in this shop that sold weapons and magical equipment, there was a very powerful fellow. To be honest, the dragon cave we are going to go to, is a land of frost. As long as we can pull out a little of the sword, no one would freeze to death when they go there. Furthermore, even my grandfather can only barely pull this sword out completely. Long Huishan also felt that Chen Shang did not know his place. If you really can pull it out, then I don't mind giving it to you. Long Huishan's last sentence made everyone cry out, and really gave it out as a gift. It was at this time that Long Huishan spoke again. This sword was gifted to me by my grandfather, so he is also unable to use this sword. If Sir can truly pull it out, it means that you are fated with this sword, however, if you are unable to pull it out, you have to give me something as well. Quote. Long Huishan laughed mischievously, waiting for Chen Shang to take out something, although she was sure that Chen Shang was unable to pull it out, she was still cautious. The sword was already hers, but if someone else took it away so easily, her heart would ache. With such a large clan like the Long family, to be able to take out something that Long Huishan had set his eyes on was definitely not easy. Do you have the confidence to pull this sword out? If we succeed in getting them, we might be able to open those 3 treasure chests. Long Shui asked. If you think it's possible, then use the jade dragon flower. This girl must have the blood of an ice dragon in her body, so she should have some understanding about the dragon race. She knows how precious the jade dragon flower is. Jade dragon flower was a holy level dragon medicine, a medicinal ingredient that could refine holy elixir, and it was also very precious in sacred Dan realm. Chen Shang planned to give it a try. He had a few jade dragon flowers, and all of them were copied from creation divine liquid. Alright, Chen Shang took out the jade dragon flower and placed it on the table. Seeing the jade-like flower and feeling the bizarre dragon chi, Long Huishan was stunned and stared at the jade dragon flower with her beautiful eyes. The two burly men behind her also recognized this item. Jade dragon flower. Long Huishan shouted in shock. That's right, but compared to your sword, it's nothing, but this is already my most precious thing. Chen Shang said. If you agree, then I will begin. Long Huishan muttered to herself for a while, as though she was trying to communicate with the people in the room. She then nodded her head. You can begin. Everyone looked down at Chen Shang with contempt, but when they saw him take out the jade dragon flower, they knew that he had a powerful background. At that moment, even Long Huishan was worried that he would pull out the sword, and at that time, the ice dragon sword would be given to someone else. Chen Shang grabbed the sword sheath, and sure enough, he felt that the sword sheath had the same power as the other 3 treasure chests, and at the same time, a wave of icy cold power attacked him, drilling into his body. He anxiously used the fire god method to refine it. The moment he held the sword hilt, Chen Shang immediately felt the strong resistance of the ice dragon sword, like a dragon whose tail had been pinched by someone. He could even hear the roaring of the ice dragon sword, followed by a powerful cold energy that attacked him, freezing his entire arm and forming a thick layer of ice. Before he had even pulled out the sword, the ice dragon sword had resisted so tenaciously. This showed just how powerful the spirit of the sword was. Seeing this, Long Huishan heaved a sigh of relief. She believed that Chen Shang would definitely give up, because the first time she held the sword, she held it the same way. She took a long time to hold it without being resisted. If it was touched by a stranger, it would happen. Chen Shang released the holy devil suppressing seal's power from his body and immediately suppressed the strong cold power. The ice on his arm was also blasted away. This came as a great surprise to many people. To think that he could resist the ice dragon sword's resistance to prevent himself from being frozen. Even that Mr. Wang from before could not do it. Many people could tell that Chen Shang was only around the strength of nirvana tribulation from the innate chi that he had released, but they were able to resist the terrifying cold energy coming from within the sword. Long Huishan frowned slightly. If Chen Shang could completely pull it out, this sword would no longer belong to her Long family. It took a lot of effort for Chen Shang to suppress the sword, but he was sure that if he were to slightly pull it out, the cold energy released by the sword would be even stronger, and at that time, he would not be able to suppress it. Right, philosophic stone. Chen Shang suddenly thought of the mysterious philosophic stone. He could not do anything to them previously, and had to rely on them to melt the profound being. The philosophic stone had already fused into his body. He quietly let the philosophic stone pop out from his palm, touching the sword hilt, then he focused his mind on the philosophic stone. Sure enough, the materials for this sword came from the mysterious profound cold ancient realm. Chen Shang did not know why, but after he took out the philosophic stone, the sword suddenly did not resist him anymore. Taking the chance, Chen Shang slowly pulled the sword out. A burst of intense white light accompanied by a gulp came out. The sword body shone with a cold light. Under the light of the sun, it was extremely dazzling. What was unbelievable was that this sword no longer had the threatening ice-cold energy from before. The ice dragon sword had been completely unsheathed, but Chen Shang was even more concerned with the sword sheath, because he felt that the sword sheath could possibly open the 3 treasure chests. Chen Shang smiled at Long Huishan. This is mine now. He kept the jade dragon flower and turned to leave, but Long Huishan anxiously shouted at him, Sir, this sword is called the ice dragon sword and you are actually able to pull it out so easily. That means you are destined to be there. I have already promised to give it to you, and I will never go back on my word. Quote. Thank you. Chen Shang placed the ice dragon sword into the ring and let Long Shui try to open the treasure chest. He remembered that there was a hole in the 3 treasure chests that was enough to fit into the sword sheath. You have already passed the examination. You can come with me to the dragon cave. Didn't you come here before because of this? Long Huishan's beautiful eyes sparkled as if she was inviting her. Chapter 11:10. Chen Shang originally planned to go, but he had the ice dragon sword and was waiting to open the 3 treasure chests. But now, Long Shui said, I can't open it, it requires a lot of energy. I just tried it a little, and I nearly used up all of my energy. If you open it, the sword sheath's power will also be lost and it will take a very long time to finish condensing. Quote. So troublesome, Chen Shang cursed in his heart. I think there must have been 30 keys then, and there's only one now, so it will be a while before we open one. Long Shui said, if you want to promise this little girl that you will go with her to the dragon cave, you can just eat and drink for free with her. Young master, can you come with me to Dragon Cave for an adventure? Long Huishan asked again. Of course not, I was just worried before, because I have your Long family's treasured sword. Chen Shang laughed awkwardly. I am a little scared. Don't worry, I guarantee that no one in the Long family will take back this sword. This sword was given to me by my grandfather, I can give it to whoever I want. Long Huishan smiled lightly and let a maid bring Chen Shang to the store's backyard. Chen Shang followed the servant through the birdsong and fragrant garden, and arrived at a small hut. At this time, he could no longer sense the expert inside, he guessed that he had already left and was returning to the Long family. The servant girl told Chen Shang to stay here and not to wander around, otherwise there would be dangers and the like. Chen Shang felt that this Long Huishan was not simple. There was clearly a reason to go to the Dragon Cave, and he definitely would not go explore it. Chen Shang entered the room and casually set up a few enchantments. Then, he took out the Yanlong furnace and took out the skill that Bai Ziqian had given him, the skill used to refine drunk god powder. The refining process was very simple. It was to use the suitable flames to burn the drunk god flower to form a white powder, but the poison mist from the drunk god flower would not dissipate. Chen Shang did not have many drunk god powder, only about 10 or so. But it was enough for him to refine quite a few of them. This drunk god powder was definitely easier to use than magical corruption gas S. Magical corruption gas could make people get poisoned, but after being poisoned to death, it was very easy to be seen by others, and when entering the body, it was very easy to be detected by others. It was not safe to deal with those who are very strong. However, this drunk god powder could quietly spread out inside the human body. If it wasn't for the Immortal King or the Dragon King, it would normally be able to quietly numb the opponent's strength, and by the time the other party discovered it, their power would have already been anesthetized and killed by then. Refining drunk god powder was extremely easy. Chen Shang had the basics of refining pills, and adding on Bai Ziqian's experience, he succeeded in one attempt. After that, he even continued to refine a few of them. Chen Shang stayed in the small house for 3 days. On the third night, Long Huishan suddenly knocked on the door. In these past 3 days, Long Huishan would occasionally come to find him. She only told her a few things about him under an assumed name. Young Master Yun, we'll be leaving tonight. The road might not be peaceful, so you have to be prepared. Long Huishan said in a low voice, her beautiful eyes filled with seriousness. Traveling through the night, this made Chen Shang feel like he was escaping. I understand. After this is done, you just need to fulfill your promise and pay me the spiritual crystal. Chen Shang said very casually. Long Huishan did not believe that Chen Shang needed spiritual crystal. With a holy level dragon medicine like jade dragon flower, how could he lack spiritual crystal? If not for the fact that she hid Chen Shang here, many powers might have sent people to follow him and find a way to get his jade dragon flower. Long Huishan had only brought Chen Shang and Mr. Wang along, which surprised Chen Shang greatly. He had originally thought that Long Huishan would bring a large group of people and majestically rush towards the Dragon Cave. This woman is not simple. Only now did Chen Shang realize that this gentle and beautiful Long Huishan actually had a belly full of schemes. This was because they didn't leave the sacred city by walking out, but through a secret transmission array. This transmission array was also in the backyard. Just as they left the sacred city, the sky above the sacred city was already lit up by the light of the fire. Chen Shang estimated that the place where the fire took place would be the backyard of the shop. Rest assured, as long as you two follow me to the Dragon Cave, I guarantee that you two can safely enter the depths of the Dragon Cave. There will be some treasures inside that you can retrieve on your own. My situation right now isn't too good, so I can't trust the people of the Long family. I have no other choice, which is why I hired people to travel with me, since the two of you aren't lacking spiritual crystal S. I believe that you can come with me to explore the Dragon Cave. Long Huishan hurriedly said. Let's hurry up and go. As for the others, I hope the two of you can understand, I can't say too much. Chen Shang immediately guessed that there was a change in Long Huishan's family. Otherwise, she would not so casually give the ice dragon sword to him. Chen Shang and the old man Wang did not ask too much and only followed Long Huishan for a night. Along the way, they passed through the transmission arrays arranged by Long Huishan and headed north, quickly leaving the sacred city. At dawn, they came to a river and rested there. Long Huishan was by the river washing the silk. She gave the feeling of a weak, kind and delicate woman, but all the escape along the way Chen Shang and Old Man Wang had a whole new level of respect for her. Let's go. We should be able to reach the Dragon Cave in 3 days. Just as Long Huishan took a few steps, the Old Man Wang suddenly pounced towards Chen Shang. His withered palm released a burst of extremely terrifying power, heavily smashing onto Chen Zhang's chest and causing Chen Shang to fly backwards, his entire body slicing into the stone mountain. Mr. Wang, you. Although Long Huishan was surprised, he reacted quickly and immediately dodged to the side to avoid the attack from the Old Man Wang. I'm sorry, Miss Long. Old Man Wang sneered. He, who looked kind and amiable, now had a face full of viciousness. I didn't expect you to be Uncle's man. It turns out that you and Uncle were pretending to have a falling out. Long Huishan was slightly angered, and continued to dodge. This Old Man Wang was originally a teacher in the Long family, but he had a falling out with the elder brother of the Long family and left the Long family. Your father is dead, and the current patriarch is your uncle's. Even if you managed to obtain the inheritance of the ancestor in the Dragon Cave, it would be useless. If he manages the Long family, he can definitely make the Long family even more glorious. As Old Man Wang spoke, he continued to attack Long Huishan, every move extremely vicious. Chen Shang crawled out from within the stone mountain, looked at Elder Wang, and scolded, "This old bastard actually plotted against me, just you wait." Chapter 11:11. Chen Shang hid to the side and watched the battle between Long Huishan and that Old Man Wang. What he did not expect was that Long Huishan's strength was actually very strong, which made him feel that Long Huishan had faintly reached the level of that purple moon, causing this Old Man Wang to be unable to succeed for a long time. The power that Long Huishan was using was actually the dragon power, and it was even an ice-cold dragon power. When the Long's word was swung out, it could always set off gusts of cold wind, and if it was struck, it would definitely be extremely uncomfortable. However, that Old Man Wang could actually block Long Huishan's sword with a pair of flaming fists. This old bastard is an alchemist, you better not tell me you have a fire soul, Chen Shang muttered in his heart. Mother CKER, there really is one. White fire soul. Chen Shang was startled for a moment. This kind of fire soul was an abnormal fire soul. Sister Mei Yao, this white fire soul is obviously for you. Chen Shang took out the death-haunting arrow, waiting for the chance to take action. He felt that he and Long Huishan were on the same side now, and if he wanted Old Man Wang's corpse, she would definitely give it to him. Just as Chen Shang had guessed, a change had happened to the Long family. Long Huishan's father, the patriarch, had died, and according to the rules, the position should be given to the patriarch's children. Other than Long Huishan, all of the other sons of the patriarch had been killed. In order to obtain the position of clan leader from his uncle, he wanted to kill Long Huishan no matter what, but Long Huishan was being protected by a powerful warrior from the clan, and that expert was obviously the one that Chen Shang sensed earlier. He should be dead now. This girl is really secretive. She's trying to trick Old Man Wang into wanting to know who killed her great uncle. Without even guessing, you can already tell that it's her uncle's group. If it's me, just kill those people if you have the strength to do so in the future. Stop wasting your breath on Old Man Wang right now. Chen Shang could see the terrifying dragon power in Long Huishan's body. No, she seems to be poisoned. Even though she can't use her full strength, she still has to suppress the poison in her body. Long Shui said. Chen Shang suddenly thought of the pellet Old Man Wang had given them, but Old Man Wang had said that it could quickly recover his strength. He did not expect it to be a poison pellet, but he remembered that neither he nor Long Huishan had eaten it and only kept it. He immediately took out the poison pill and examined it carefully. He discovered that the poison was concealed on the surface, and any touch would result in poison. This old thing, I'll let him see what the most powerful poison is and how he dares to play this trick in front of me. Chen Shang decided to test the drunk god powder using this Old Man Wang. Haha, you must have already discovered that you are poisoned, you will definitely die today. Old Man Wang laughed. When did you poison it? This should be the origin sealing poison. Long Huishan's face turned ugly. If she was not poisoned, she would have killed this Old Man Wang a long time ago. When you took the pill from me, you were poisoned. Don't worry, I'll send you to see that kid very soon. He died in such a pitiful way and I don't even know why he was killed by me. Although Elder Wang knew that Chen Shang was not simple, he believed that if he were to use his palm, even Long Huishan would be heavily injured, let alone a poisoned brat. The ice dragon sword and jade dragon flower on him are mine now, haha. Old Man Wang fought with Long Huishan as he laughed loudly. Long Huishan suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. Right at this time, Old Man Wang's palm landed on her abdomen, causing the poison in her body to spread even faster. HMPH, you want to fight for the position of the Long family's patriarch with your master. You overestimate yourself. Elder Wang took out a big blade, but he did not know that Chen Shang, who was hiding in the treetop, was aiming at him with his death-haunting arrow. An old fellow dares to kill a leader like me. You overestimate yourself. Chen Shang sneered in his heart, took out a drunk god powder, and let the transparent powder condense inside the crossbow arrow. The crossbow arrows were condensed out of his powerful strength. Once the drunk god powder was placed inside, as long as it pierced the enemy's body, the drunk god powder would scatter inside, and the poison would spread at a rapid pace. Old bastard, don't get cocky. Chen Shang steeled his heart and released an arrow. Old Man Wang immediately sensed it and instinctively released a barrier of light. However, a powerful dragon power condensed on top of the crossbow arrow and directly pierced through his barrier of light. The crossbow arrow accurately pierced into his heart from his back. Old Man Wang's body was extremely strong. The arrow exploded within his body, but it could not shatter his heart. He immediately howled, but his expression suddenly became very ugly. Because he couldn't do it anymore, his entire body was soft and weak. He quickly discovered that this poison was not simple. It was very likely to be the kind of poison that was rumored to be found in legends. Drunken god. Chen Shang did not let him speak. He rushed forward and waved his green sword, cutting off the head of the Old Man Wang. Then, he activated devouring magic Kung Fu and started to absorb the white fire soul from his body, condensing it into a bead. Long Huishan just sat on the ground and looked at this scene in shock. She thought that Chen Shang had been killed with a single palm, but she never thought that he would actually appear and kill the old man. You should have the antidote pill, right? Chen Shang removed the Old Man Wang's storage magic treasure S and took out 100,000 or so spiritual crystal S and a bottle of that poison pill. Seeing that Chen Shang did not do anything to her, Long Huishan heaved a sigh of relief and took out an antidote pill to swallow. At this moment, she felt that the person in front of her was extremely mysterious, being able to easily pull out the Ice Dragon sword, and furthermore, using the legendary Super Old Poison S. That sword was formed from Chen Zhang's Green Dragon Demon Slain broadsword, just so that it would not attract attention. Thank you. Long Huishan took off the black veil, revealing a beautiful yet haggard face, giving people a shocking feeling. It was Chen Zhang's first time seeing her complete appearance. You're welcome. I just think that you have the chance to take back the position of Long family's head. If I wish you success, then I will be very convenient here in the future, no? Chen Shang laughed. Of course, I need your help right now. If you can wish for my success, there will definitely be benefits. She knew that Chen Shang was a smart person and already knew the situation she was in. If Long Huishan wanted to succeed, she would need to obtain the inheritance of the ancestral dragon from the dragon cave, which allowed her to obtain a very strong power. When I have fully recovered, we will immediately rush over. If this Old Man Wang fails, my uncle will definitely send someone to wait for us on the road to Dragon Cave. Long Huishan sighed lightly. She felt that the whole journey would be very difficult. Chapter 11-12. Long Huishan had quite a few good pills, and she was a strong ranker herself, so it wouldn't be long before she recovered to her peak. Miss Long, my strength is far inferior to yours. If your uncle sends someone, your strength should be about the same. When you and I are together, I'm worried that I won't be able to withstand their full strength. At that time, I might even implicate you. Chen Shang did not retreat, but instead, he did not plan to walk together with Long Huishan. Long Huishan nodded his head. You are right, the person my uncle sent to kill me is definitely not weaker than me. If there were only a few of you, you would be in danger. Chen Shang said, I plan to follow you in the dark. If you fight with those people, I can also provide support in the dark. Long Huishan immediately laughed softly. What a good method to secretly support you. Then let's make a deal. Your methods are indeed not easy to use. She already knew about Chen Zhang's drunk god magical poison, but she did not ask or bring it up. She was very clear that Chen Shang exposing this kind of thing was because he saved her. Even though Chen Zhang's strength was not strong, she was her savior and the only person she could trust. Before being poisoned, that was when she was at her weakest. Any one of them could have crippled her, but Chen Shang did not do anything to her. Young Master Yun, I shall slow down so that you can keep up. You must be careful along the way. Quote. If you use 80% of your speed, I can keep up. Chen Shang was very confident in his own speed. Chen Shang maintained a distance with Long Huishan, dodging some of the nearby stealth and followed closely behind her. If Long Huishan chose to stay in the forest, it would make it easier for him to hide. She thought that Chen Shang would not be able to keep up with her, so she stopped for a while before receiving Chen Zhang's sound transmission. This made her a little surprised, as she could not understand why Chen Shang was so weak, but had a higher concealment ability than her. Chen Shang had merged with a Kaomu Heavenly Dan before, and he had Grasswood Spirit afterwards, which allowed him to merge with nature, causing others to not be able to sense his existence. He felt that after the Kaomu Heavenly Dan fused with his Grasswood Spirit, it might become even more powerful, but that would still require more time. Young Master Yun, our Long family has domesticated a spirit beast called a dragon dog. This kind of dragon dog is not very strong, but its speed and final ability are very powerful, especially for those with the dragon bloodline. Long Huishan followed the imprint Chen Shang had left in her sea of consciousness and transmitted sound. If it wasn't for that, she wouldn't have been able to find Chen Shang. Then won't it be easy for them to find you? Chen Shang was not worried that the dragon dog would notice him. Although he had a lot of dragon blood in his body, his concealment skills were very strong, so it was not easy to break through. My uncle will definitely ambush me on the way. As long as I am heading towards the dragon cave, I will definitely encounter an ambush on the way. Chen Shang made Long Shui execute Heaven Tour method, and wandered around Long Huishan to prevent people from lying in ambush. If he could find them in time, he would use Death Haunting Arrow S and Drunk God Powder S to strike first. Something is coming, Long Shui shouted, it's a few dogs, they are fast. Chen Shang immediately reminded Long Huishan, the dragon dog is coming towards you, its speed is fast, I believe that those people are nearby, be careful. Long Huishan was very surprised, the dragon dog's sense of smell was very sensitive, not only was its tracking ability strong, its concealing ability was also clever, but Chen Shang could see that she really wanted to know the background of this, young Master Yun. There are 10 dragon dogs. Chen Shang then told it to Long Huishan. Ah, for all these years, the Long family has only nurtured 10. I never thought that all of them would actually make a move. Long Huishan was already prepared for battle. Long Shui said, I'll go kill those dogs. Seeing the dragon blood on their bodies makes me feel uncomfortable. Chen Shang thought as he swam out and looked around him. Suddenly, he saw 3 figures flying over, looking like they had jumped from a very far distance. It was evident how powerful these 3 people were. Following that were the 10 dragon dogs pouncing towards him, the 3 old men and their 10 big dogs surrounding Long Huishan. Just when the 3 old men wanted to put the dragon dog back into the profound beast bag, Long Shui shouted, die. The 10 dragon dogs suddenly howled and fell to the ground and died. Chen Shang guessed that it was Long Shui's mental attack, so dealing with these spirit beasts would not be difficult. Kill her. The 3 old men were furious. The dragon dogs were a rare item. Over the years, they had only grown 10, which had cost them a lot of resources. However, they were suddenly killed, and thought that Long Huishan had killed them. Long Huishan was being attacked by 3 strong elders. Although she looked like she was being suppressed, she was not at a disadvantage, and could even make the old men's bodies get punched or 2 from time to time. Clang 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 clang. No wonder Uncle Long Huishan was so worried about her. With her strength being so strong, she definitely has the qualifications to be the patriarch of the Long family. Her strength should be the same as the Super Yuan sect leader, just a step away from becoming an immortal king. Although I am just a step away, there is still a huge gap in strength. Long Shui said. Chen Shang watched from the side, waiting for the best opportunity to make his move. He had a lot of experience in sneak attacks, and there were countless people who had suffered from his schemes, and the majority of them didn't even know how they died, or who caused them to die. Then how did Super Yuan sect leader manage to kill the 3 Horns Dragon King? The 3 Horns Dragon King should be more powerful than the human Immortal King. The strength of the Super Yuan sect leader is not even on the Immortal King level. Quote. Chen Shang had been wondering the whole time. There is only one possibility, Super Yuan sect leader used Drunk God scent. He is very familiar with that group of primal chaos barbarians, so it is not strange that he could get his hands on Drunk God scent. Although 3 Horns Dragon King is a poison dragon, if he was facing a large number of Drunk God scent, he would still have to kneel. Long Shui felt that this was the only explanation. Chen Shang had already condensed a crossbow arrow that contained a large number of drunk god scent. These three elders surrounding and attacking Long Huishan were only slightly weaker than him in terms of strength, but if it was those Tongtian aristocratic family and Sage Realm giants, they would definitely not be able to block 10 moves. The Sacred Dan Realm was indeed the same as the Heaven Realm. There were as many experts as clouds in the entire Long family. So what if you're an expert? Aren't you going to die because of me? Chen Shang took a deep breath and continued to gather his energy. He planned to shoot 3 arrows at a time. Miss Long, quickly dodge it. Chen Shang sent a sound transmission to Long Huishan, and this was also a good opportunity for Long Huishan to escape. The moment Long Huishan dodged, Chen Shang activated his death-haunting arrow and released 3 arrows that pierced through the air. Although they did not hit the place Chen Shang locked onto, the 3 crossbow bolts that contained a large number of drunk god powder still struck the 3 elders. Chapter 11-13. These 3 old men were even more powerful than the old man Wang. They were able to quickly discover that they were being plotted against, and immediately circulated all the energy in their bodies to resist the drunk god powder's poison. However, after the crossbow arrows had pierced into their bodies, the gathered drunk god powder burst out. Their spreading speed was extremely fast. In a blink of an eye, they had reached their 4 limbs, and in a short period of time, their entire bodies were anesthetized. Long Huishan seized the opportunity to avoid any unforeseen events, and wielding the light blade, he came to the side of the 3 elders. Super old poison, drunk god. Who is it? What is it? Long Huishan did not allow him to waste any more words. With one slash, 3 heads fell off. They didn't bring anything with them. It seems like they are worried that they won't be able to go back. Long Huishan used his blade to pick at the corpses of the elders, but he did not find any storage magic treasures. Let me clean it up. Go far away. Chen Shang walked over. He was worried that when he was burning the corpses, the drunk god magical poison would float out. Only after Long Huishan left the area did Chen Shang set fire to the corpses of the 3 people. He originally planned to take out the 3 people's heaven pills, but the heaven pills were destroyed due to the intoxicating poison. This woman should be at the late stage of Immortal Monarch, or even at the peak of Immortal Monarch. Even if you don't kill those 3 old fellows, giving her some time would be enough to kill those 3 old turtles. Long Shui said. Immortal Monarch. This was the first time Chen Shang had heard this name, so he continued to rush forward. Just like before, Chen Shang continued to separate with her. After transcending the 9 nirvana tribulations, one would become a worldly immortal, also known as immortal. Demons are called devil immortals, while demons are demon immortals. Above them will be celestial immortals, celestial demons, and celestial demons. There are many people at this stage. Long Shui said. Sister Mei Yao, Sister Yu, how strong were you in the past? Chen Shang was extremely curious, because they needed the holy level's medicinal pellets in order to recover their peak strength. Su Meiyao and Bai Yu did not answer, but Long Shui guessed, it should at least be a mid or late stage immortal king. The immortal cultivation realms were divided into 4 levels: the front, middle, back, and peak. Under normal circumstances, the strength of each small level was far different. If it's you and me, you can't use common sense. The strength of a late-stage immortal king. Isn't that close to the strength of 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord? Chen Shang said in shock. Far from it, Long Shui said. Then what about LV Qinlian? She is the demon empress, so she should have the strength of the immortal king. Chen Shang asked again. She should be a little immortal king, but she isn't that type of attack. She specializes in poison, so she doesn't look that powerful, but it's also very powerful. It's poison, you know. Quote. As he got closer and closer to the dragon cave, Chen Shang guessed that if Long Huishan talked about the ice dragon inheritance, she would probably become an immortal king. With this person as a backer, he wouldn't need to worry about any unspoken rules anymore. In front of him was a huge iceberg. The cold wind blew and the nearby forest was covered in frost. After leaving the forest, the cold wind became stronger. When it blew across his face, it felt as if he was being cut by a blade. Even up to here, Chen Shang still maintained a distance from Long Huishan. The facts proved that this was true, because just as Long Huishan walked out of the forest and headed towards a gigantic cave, a man in a red robe suddenly appeared. This man looked pretty delicate and pretty, and was similar to Long Huishan. My dear sister, you are truly amazing. The 3 elders were all killed by you, and not to mention so fast. From the looks of it, you seemed to be very relaxed back then. But now, the red-robed man had an evil smile on his face and his voice sounded weird. When Long Huishan saw him, his face turned ugly. Why are you here? Weren't you already sealed by my father? Long Huishan anxiously took a few steps back, but suddenly there was a burst of red chi around her, causing her to be unable to move. Chen Shang could already tell from her expression that this red-robed man was very powerful. He took out the death-haunting arrow, and just as he was about to attack, the red-robed man suddenly flashed and slapped Long Huishan's lower abdomen. Long Huishan let out a miserable cry as he fell onto the ground. The red-robed man grabbed onto Long Huishan's long hair and laughed sinisterly. Your blood must taste good, but I will let you live for a while longer. You better hand over the ice dragon sword, otherwise I won't let you die happily. Death-haunting arrow is useless, this guy has a powerful aura. Judging from his strength, he should be at the peak of Immortal Monarch. Long Shui said. The ice dragon sword is not in my hands. Long Huishan said in pain. Not only was the red-robed man's strength strong, his methods were also strange. Chen Shang could not understand why he could knock Long Huishan down with a single palm. Humph, that kid isn't with you, he must have died on the way, the ice dragon sword is definitely in your hands. The red-robed man's knee fiercely smashed into Long Huishan's abdomen, bringing with it a burst of red dragon power, but the blood that Long Huishan spat out was actually all sucked away by the red-clothed man. Chen Zhang's eyes lit up. He had thought of a brilliant plan, but it was extremely risky. Although he was hiding at the side, he was not discovered, and Long Huishan did not say that he was nearby either. Furthermore, Long Huishan had a face full of despair, clearly hoping that Yunche would not come out and save him, because that would only harm him. Chen Shang took out all the drunk god powder and quickly refined the drunk god powder into a gaseous state. After he was done, he absorbed the large amount of intoxicating poisonous gas into his body, and then took out the ice dragon sword and poured them into the ice dragon sword. Long An, even if I die, I won't hand over the ice dragon sword to you. Just give up on this thought of yours. If you kill me, you won't get anything. Let's see how long you can last. Long An struck towards Long Huishan's abdomen again, and some red, evil dragon power were even injected into it. One could tell at a glance that it was that kind of thing that caused Long Huishan to be in extreme pain. Stop, the ice dragon sword is with me. Chen Shang suddenly rushed out. Long Huishan glared at Chen Shang and sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. Why did you come out? You absolutely cannot let the ice dragon sword fall into his hands. You and I have no chance of winning against him. Quote. Chen Shang did not respond to Long Huishan. When he saw that Long An was going to attack him, he immediately shouted, if you dare touch me, I will kill myself, and my storage magic treasure will disappear with me. You want to use the ice dragon sword to exchange for this woman? Long An looked at Chen Shang with disdain. In his eyes, Chen Shang was just a little bug that he could squash at any time. That's right, let him go, I will hand the ice dragon sword to you. Chen Shang said. How do I know if you have a ice dragon sword? Long An sneered. This woman has some ability. I don't want her to have the chance to counterattack me. Chapter 11:14. Long Huishan anxiously transmitted to Chen Shang. Don't ever take out the ice dragon sword. He can control you in an instant. Long An struck Long Huishan again, and the red-colored evil dragon power caused Long Huishan to feel excruciating pain. Chen Shang furrowed his brows, and took out the ice dragon sword. Seeing Chen Shang take out the ice dragon sword, Long Huishan shut his eyes in despair. Indeed, just as Long Huishan said, Chen Shang was instantly suppressed and was unable to move at all, while Long An had already rushed over. After grabbing the ice dragon sword in Chen Zhang's hand, he sent it flying with a palm, and all of this happened in an instant. Chen Shang was struck heavily with his palm. In the eyes of Long Huishan and Long An, he should be dead, but not only was Chen Shang not dead, he had even arrived at Long Huishan's side in an instant. He held Long Huishan up, stepped on the shrinking step, and dodged Long An's palm strike from afar. Long An saw how cunning Chen Shang was and was enraged. He pulled out his ice dragon sword and a cold wind blew across the sky. At the same time, Long An laughed crazily, ha ha. The ice dragon sword is mine now, only I can pull it out of the Long family, ha ha. But his laughter quickly stopped, his face suddenly turned green, and he threw away the ice dragon sword. The moment Long An pulled out the sword, the cold energy within the ice dragon sword gushed into his body crazily, while Chen Shang poured a large amount of intoxicated divine poison into the ice dragon sword. Chen Shang put down the stunned Long Huishan, took out the green dragon demon-slain broadsword that had turned into a green sword, and walked over with a smile. Since you can pull out the ice dragon sword before you die, you should be able to die with peace in your eyes. Long An collapsed onto the ground. He used all his strength he had, but he could only make his body tremble. His handsome face was sinister and angry. His hateful eyes seemed to want to bite off all of Chen Zhang's flesh one bite at a time. Little bastard, what did you do to me? Even now, Long An still didn't know that it was a drunk god magical poison. Haha, you want to know? But I won't tell you. I'll make it worse for you after you die. Chen Shang laughed out loud, and instantly released hundreds of sword attacks. The divine weapon could destroy everything. Long An, who had been struck by the drunk god magical poison, was instantly chopped into minced meat like tofu, before finally being burnt to ashes. Chen Shang kept his divine weapon and patted the red evil chi on his body. With a smile on his face, he walked towards Long Huishan, but along the way, Long Huishan witnessed him killing many powerful warriors. Although his strength was very weak, his methods were heaven-defying. At this moment, she was somewhat fearful of Chen Shang. She had thought that she was someone who was about to become the Long family's patriarch, and was considered quite an influential person in the sacred Dan realm. However, the man in front of her was clearly more powerful, and this was the second time she had been saved. Moreover, she was saved by someone who was much weaker than her. Chen Shang laughed. What is this guy's background? Why does he call you little sister? This guy has such a beautiful little sister like you, it really makes people jealous. In the sacred Dan realm here, as long as they talked about Long An, no one would not be afraid. But Chen Shang did not know. Long Huishan suspected that Chen Shang came from that sacred Dan realm, but she understood sacred Dan realm very well. Other than the stronger chaotic mountain, the rest of them would not even be able to enter the stage, for such a place to actually have this kind of innate. Long An is the eldest son of my uncle. 300 years ago, because he killed hundreds of thousands of people, he was sealed by my father, but I don't know where he obtained this evil art, which was especially used to absorb other people's flesh and blood to strengthen himself. After killing hundreds of thousands of people, he has already reached the early Immortal King stage. Long Huishan consumed a pill that looked like a ruby, making her complexion look much better. I never thought that my uncle would actually release such a fellow. Back then, it wasn't easy for my father to control him, but now. Long Huishan thought back to when he was hit by Chen Zhang's swift sword just now, and his heart had a lingering fear. But what was fortunate was that Chen Shang had treated her very well, and did not have any ill intentions. I am truly ashamed. My strength is clearly much stronger than yours, yet it is so useless. I have been helped by you to this extent, and we have only known each other for a short period of time. Long Huishan faintly sighed. Hee, those stronger than me, I've killed quite a number of them, don't mind them. Chen Shang laughed a little complacently. Where did you come from? You are definitely not from here. Quote. Long Huishan's injuries were much better now, so he and Chen Shang walked towards the ice mountain's large cave. Chen Shang asked, am I from DTN? Have you heard of DTN? Quote. Long Huishan's face regained its rosiness as he said happily, I heard of it, but it broke at that time and is slowly forming again. I heard that DTN is very big. When I have the chance, I really want to go and take a look. Chen Shang giggled. Miss Long, if you can get the position of clan leader, at that time, I'll need you to help me get some precious medicine. Long Huishan was surprised. I didn't expect you to be an alchemist, it's so rare, I've rarely seen an alchemist running around by himself. Oh yeah, if you don't mind, just call me Sister Long. My brothers and sisters are dead. I will definitely become the Long family's patriarch and kill those bastards who persecuted my family. Long Huishan turned his grief into strength, his face full of stubbornness. Sister Long, you will definitely succeed. Chen Shang encouraged her, then asked, Big Sister Long, do you know anything about that sacred Dan realm over there? A while ago, something big happened over there. Long Huishan frowned, a look of surprise flashing across her beautiful face. Prince Imperial Dragon was killed by a person called Chen Shang. Dragon Emperor was furious, and used her unparalleled strength to open a path to come here, but in the end, she knew that the person who killed Prince Imperial Dragon, Super Yuan sect leader, had returned after killing him. Long Huishan looked at Chen Shang weirdly. She had heard quite a lot about that Chen Shang before, and she even asked about him in detail. Your surname isn't Yun, right? Chen Shang scratched his head and laughed. Is it because my surname is not Yun that I can't call you big sister? Long Huishan scoffed, you lied to me for a long time. In her mind, she recalled the cyan-colored long sword that Chen Shang often took out. She suspected that it was the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, but it did not look like a blade at all. Sister Long, you need to be clear, if the strong people here knew I was here, do you think I would be alright? I risked my life to tell you who I am. Quote. Long Huishan laughed tenderly, alright, you will still be young Master Yun in the future. Oh right, you already have a green dragon demon-slain broadsword, why do you still have your eyes on my ice dragon sword? Quote. Chen Shang deliberately revealed a face full of worry. Sister Long, do you want to act like a spoiled child and then ask me for it back? Chapter 11:15, Ice Dragon Sword were the keys to the 3 treasure chests. Even if Long Huishan wanted to return it, he would absolutely not return it. 13,800,100. Of course not, Ice Dragon Sword are actually not suitable for battle, but they are very scary. Back then, my grandfather used this sword to scare a lot of strong warriors, and like I said before, if you can pull it out, I will give it to you. Don't think so little of me. As the daughter of the patriarch, Long Huishan definitely had a lot of good things on her. Furthermore, she was very strong, and might even be the patriarch of the Long family in the future. She was also an immortal king. After entering the dragon cave, a burst of cold wind suddenly blew, as if it had penetrated Chen Zhang's body, causing him to feel as if his insides were frozen. Even the divine sense seemed to have been frozen over. On the other hand, Long Huishan was fine, at least Chen Zhang's physique and various protective measures were extremely heaven-defying, but right now his entire body was shivering, and he had no choice but to use the heaven fire in his body to defend against the cold. After my Long family's bloodline became an ice dragon, I heard that the ice dragon's ancestral founder and a dozen or so human girls had gotten along well in order to have my bloodline, but after inheriting it for so long, the bloodlines have become very thin. Even the purest of bloodlines, up until now, only a few can awaken the ice dragon's bloodline, and I'm one of them. Long Huishan narrated the history of the Long family. Back then, my father knew that the bastard might usurp the position and use all sorts of methods to buy back some of the clan's elders. My father was outnumbered, and later on because my brother were captured and threatened, he was distracted during the great battle and was eventually killed, and my brother were not spared either. When Long Huishan talked about these things, she was abnormally calm. She was already able to control her emotions, but that did not mean that she was not angry. You have always been hiding your strength, and your uncle knew that you possess the ice dragon sword, so he planned to keep it for you. On the way, he would also use your value to marry you to a disciple of some power, and try to establish a relationship with you. Chen Shang guessed. That's enough, but after he found out I was going to the dragon cave, and was worried that I would obtain the inheritance of the dragon cave, and adding that I gave you the ice dragon sword, he took action against me. But there was an elder protecting me in the dark previously, and this elder had been unable to break through for many years, so he was already burned out. The elder protecting her was already dead, and if she wanted to take back the patriarch's position, she needed to have super strong strength to intimidate the entire Long family, kill all the elders who colluded with her uncle, and her hope was the ice dragon's inheritance in the dragon cave. This dragon cave is where the ice dragon ancestral founder lived all those years ago. We don't know whether he passed away or not, but my grandfather said before that there is something here that the ice dragon founder left for us, and that we can only obtain it if we possess his bloodline. But over the years, the number of experts the Long family have entered the dragon cave, and most of them returned seriously injured, unable to go any further. Long Huishan looked around carefully along the way. On one hand, he had to protect Chen Shang. It should be the sea-suppressing blood bead that the ice dragon left behind. It contains the inheritance memories and the ice dragon's purest bloodline, and even the dragon pearl is fused inside. If the girl can obtain it, her power will definitely increase by leaps and bounds, and you might even find out from her what dirty deeds the ice dragon has done. Long Shui said. Chen Shang also had an ocean-subduing pearl, and inside his divine sense his divine soul was wrapped within the ocean-subduing pearl, so he was a little doubtful about this. The ocean-suppressing orb was left behind. Could the ice dragon be dead? Isn't the divine soul inside the ocean-suppressing orb? Quote. Who said there can only be one pearl of the sea? There were still 2 dragon pearls from the Prince Imperial Dragon. There were quite a few powerful primordial dragons, sea-suppressing pearls and dragon pearls, but there were also some that were very large. For example, that poisonous dragon. Back then, the ice dragon couldn't find another female dragon to inherit its bloodline, so it had no choice but to find human women. These human women must be very strong, or else they wouldn't be able to stand him. Quote. Hearing Long Shui's words, Chen Shang immediately said indignantly, "This bastard ice dragon actually harms so many women, it's really not a thing." The dragon cave was deep inside the ground, and this place was extremely cold. Chen Shang felt that this kind of coldness was not caused by an ice dragon, but a natural one. The entrance to the dragon cave was very big, but it gradually decreased in size later on, but it was still very wide, able to pass through dozens of people at a time. The passage spiraled downwards, and at first the passage was surrounded by ice, but after reaching the bottom, the walls were filled with rocks, only very smooth, with some traces. Isn't the dragon cave in danger? On the other hand, this icy cold power is very strong. If ordinary people were to enter, they would have been frozen to death at the door. Heaven fire were moving inside Chen Zhang's body at any time, in case he got frozen. Chen Shang realized that the Yuming Deep Abyss that imprisoned the super old fire beast also had this kind of terrifying cold energy, and this place was much more powerful than the Yuming Deep Abyss. Long Shui said, "The big lion was indeed sealed by this ice dragon. I really don't know the reason, but what I can confirm is that this ice dragon is Ten Heaven's Supreme Lord's friend." After Ten Heaven's Supreme Lord died, the ice dragon gang Ten Heaven's Supreme Lord did a lot of things, such as placing the green dragon demon slain broadsword inside, and even created a passage leading to the core of the earth. Chen Shang curled his lips and said, "He even took 26 treasure chests." "Oh right, the icy cold power here does not have the aura of a dragon. How do you know that the Yuming Deep Abyss's cold power is very similar to this place?" Quote. Long Shui scoffed, "Are you doubting my feelings? I can tell you, the frost power here has a special attribute. I think this ice dragon definitely knows how to extract the energy inside the profound being, so it must be very dangerous for him to build this dragon cave." Quote. Last time, Chen Shang melted those profound being that were turned into powder together and even lost control. If not for the sudden appearance of the white tiger, if it were to erupt at that time, the people in the entire city might have been in trouble. In the dark passage, Chen Shang suddenly felt a dangerous aura, and anxiously grabbed onto Long Huishan's jade hands, pulling her back with force. "What's wrong?" Long Huishan was also shocked by Chen Shang. He immediately took out a long blade and looked around vigilantly. Chen Shang took out the green dragon demon slain broadsword, and then, prodded it forward. A translucent white light screen suddenly appeared in front of them, and the green dragon demon slain broadsword was immediately covered with a kind of light purple frost. "It really is this kind of thing." Chen Shang pressed his palm against the blade of the sword, and the ice on the green dragon demon slain broadsword immediately turned into powder, becoming exactly the same as those primordial profound being. Chapter 11:16. Long Huishan looked at the ice crystal powder on the ground and was a little taken aback. Long Huishan looked at the ice crystal powder on the ground and was a little taken aback. Chen Shang said with fear still lingering in his heart, "We were almost frozen to death in there. It is possible that countless years later, someone found us and broke the ice to discover us, 13,800,100. If they were caught in the ice, the bottom of the tunnel would roll down, and if they were rolling to the end, no one would be able to get them out. Then how do we get there?" Long Huishan already felt the terror of blocking the transparent wall in front of him. "Ha ha!" Within the cave, an extremely sinister laughter resounded. Long Huishan suddenly squeezed Chen Zhang's hand, and even in the dim light, he could still see the unsightly expression on her face. "It's Long Song," Long Huishan said as he grinded his teeth. "Is that your uncle the bastard?" Chen Shang never thought that this fellow would catch up to him here, and even so fast. According to Long Shui's judgment, this Long Song fellow was an immortal king-level expert. If he did not have this kind of strength, he probably would not be able to usurp the throne. "It's him. What should we do?" Although Long Huishan wanted to kill Long Song now, he was not strong enough. If he was killed here, he would not have the chance to turn the tables in the future. "If you have the guts, then step over. I've come to Dragon Cave before. With your current strength, it's impossible for you to pass through the profound Bing wall." When Long Song's loud laughter came through, Chen Shang and Long Huishan had already seen a tall and big figure. Chen Shang sneered in his heart as he pulled Long Huishan, activated the power of the spatial laws, and then traveled through space to pass through the so-called profound Bing wall. "Let's go, he won't be able to come here for the time being." Chen Shang immediately sprinted forward. Reacting to his shock, he quickly followed behind Chen Shang. Chen Shang controlled the green dragon demon-slain broadsword to float in front of him, which was equivalent to exploring the way, in case he encountered something similar to the profound Bing wall. Did you teleport through space? Even an immortal king would find it hard to achieve such a power, especially in such a high-grade realm with such a sturdy space. How did you do it? Long Huishan's heart was filled with curiosity. She had already been wondering how Chen Shang could do so many things, but now she understood, because Chen Zhang's abilities could not be judged using common sense. I'll tell you a small secret later. Chen Shang didn't want others to know that he had mastered the power of the spatial laws. They had run for more than an hour, but did not discover that Long Song had caught up. That fellow left, he did not go over the profound Bing wall. Long Shui said as she used her divine vision to look at the situation. Even so, Chen Shang did not let down his guard and watched the green dragon demon-slain broadsword flying in front. Something's wrong. Chen Shang hurriedly switched back the green dragon demon-slain broadsword S. On the ground in front of him, there were quite a few ice cubes of different shapes and colors. This made Chen Shang think of those profound Bing S. He guessed that there were some of people who came to explore the dragon cave being frozen inside. It's best if you don't go over. Although my blade didn't detect anything out of the ordinary, for these ice cubes to suddenly appear here, it must not be a simple task. Chen Zhang's eyes shone with a gold light as he used the Chaos Divine Eye to look at the dark cave to see if there were any hidden traps. Had many times experience with this kind of exploration, so she could not compare to him in this area. Originally, she planned to lead the way, but she did not expect Chen Shang to take her as the host. Is there anyone in the ice? If there is an ancestor of our Long family, they might help me. Long Huishan's eyes lit up as he said. Hard to say, but even if there were, I'm afraid they're already dead. This ice has a very strong freezing ability. If a small piece of ice is placed in your room, it will be able to freeze your room after a period of time. Chen Shang understood these profound Bing very well. Chen Shang didn't see anything, but he didn't dare continue walking forward. Previously, he had seen how powerful the profound Bing wall was, and because he understood the profound Bing, he had no choice but to treat them with caution. Especially right now, there were a few large profound Bing S lying on the ground, and these profound Bing S were all connected to the ground, not rolling down from above. The Ice Dragon's ancestral founder built this place and left behind his legacy, but why did he set up so many traps on the road and cause the deaths of many of the Long family's heroes over the years? Long Huishan started to complain to the Ice Dragon Grandmaster. These traps weren't created by him, they were called the Profound Bing and they were extremely strange. There's a place called the Profound Cold Ancient Realm in DTN and all the Profound Bing we dug out were like that, and we don't know the reason why. At that time, the Profound Cold Ancient Realm was an extremely dangerous place called DTN, and it was a place that didn't dare to go into for 10 days. Chen Shang did not think that this kind of power could be controlled by the Ice Dragon. He felt that the Ice Dragon must have obtained this kind of profound Bing and gained intelligence, that was why it laid these traps. I feel that the traps should be under these profound Bing. I'll move these profound Bing away. Chen Shang immediately used his shadow shifting technique and pulled all the profound Bing over. There were a total of 6 or 7 of them, and all of them were linked together. After moving over, Chen Shang used the green dragon demon-slain broadsword S to chop them into pieces. These profound Bing S were very solid, and it took a lot of effort for him and Long Huishan to break them all. There was no one inside the profound Bing, but Chen Shang noticed the auras of some people. In other words, the people who were initially sealed in the ice had all turned into profound Bing, unless they were some genius or rare flower or herb that was able to suppress the ice seal on the profound Bing. As expected, after Chen Shang removed the profound Bing, the red Chaos Divine Eye could clearly see that there was a very powerful formation at the bottom of that place. It seemed to be formed naturally, and the power was a type of icy cold power. Sister Long, break that place. There is a basin-sized dark array there, but its power can cover a large distance ahead. If we had taken a few more steps forward, we might have been frozen. Chen Shang pointed to the ground where the profound Bing was. Long Huishan did not hesitate at all. Her jade palms danced as she released waves after waves of chi that divided into berserk, plowing the entire path in front of her. The ground was also covered with ice crystals that were scattered everywhere. Chen Shang used the Chaos Divine Eye to observe the hidden array. Under Long Huishan's fierce attacks, the hidden array was seriously damaged and was gradually disappearing. It should be fine, I'll go take a look first. Sister Long, you stay here. Quote. Chen Shang strode across it in a single step, took another long walk, and then carefully examined it with the Chaos Divine Eye. After confirming that there was no danger, he asked Long Huishan to come over. Long Huishan couldn't help but sigh. If not for Chen Shang, she also didn't know if she could make it here. Chen Shang was just like her protective talisman, considerately protecting her. It's safe. Chen Shang laughed, but at the same time, the ground suddenly trembled. The passage was actually moving, causing them to fall down at a very fast speed. Chapter 11:17. At this time, no matter how much they retreated, they were unable to leave their original position. They were currently frozen in place by some kind of powerful force, and were allowing this route that would lead them into the depths of unknown danger. Baidu search. After a while, Chen Shang and Long Huishan were suddenly enveloped by a burst of intense light. It was at this time that they realized that they were no longer in the dark tunnel, but instead inside a tunnel filled with white ice crystals. This caused Long Huishan to suddenly feel safe, and the path that he could walk slowly became slower and slower, until a huge ice door appeared in front of them. We're here. Long Huishan took a deep breath. She was extremely excited. She never thought she would use this kind of method to arrive in front of the Ice Dragon Ancestral Gate. Chen Shang walked to the front of the gate, took out the Ice Dragon sword and inserted it into a hole, then he started to spin it. Chen Shang was now certain that the one who had constructed the entrance to the core of the Yuming Deep Abyss was this Ice Dragon. Because the structure here was similar to that of the other place, when he found this hole, he knew how to use a Ice Dragon sword to open it. The door slowly opened, revealing a huge ice palace. The floor of the ice palace was carved with a dragon that bared its fangs and brandished its claws, and huge, lifelike dragons coiled around the huge ice pillar. On top of the dragon throne, there was a box that seemed to be made of ice. Seeing this box, Chen Zhang's pupils shrank, because this box was the same as the 3 treasure chests he had obtained. Your Ice Dragon Ancestral Founder's inheritance should be inside this treasure chest. Chen Shang was cursing the Ice Dragon for taking away 26 treasure chests in one go. If he had only taken away 20, he would have at least 7 or 8 of them now. This Ice Dragon was too greedy. If there was a chance, Chen Shang would definitely let Long Shui scold him. Chen Shang and Long Huishan walked over together. He inserted the Ice Dragon sword into the hole in the white ice treasure chest and easily opened it, unlike the 3 treasure chests that he had obtained, which required a very powerful force to open them. Furthermore, opening them once would consume a whole bunch of Ice Dragon Sword's energy, and it would take a very long time before he could open them again. What is this? Long Huishan held up a melon-sized white bead. Junhai blood bead, you can use it with just a drop of blood. Chen Shang said, causing him to look at her with a strange gaze. Long Huishan could not help but suspect that Chen Shang was the messenger sent by her Ice Dragon founder, who had escorted her all the way here. Furthermore, she understood this place very well, opening the door, opening the treasure chest. Chen Zhang's movements were extremely skilled, as if she had already known this long ago and now he was telling her what this bead was. Chen Shang, the outsider from DTN, actually knew about something that even her Ice Dragon bloodline didn't know. Elder sister Long, don't thank me. After you become the Long family's head, it will be fine as long as I have a place to eat and drink. Chen Shang chuckled. Long Huishan kissed Chen Shang on the cheek. If I can become the patriarch of the Long family, then the Long family will be your home. You can come anytime you want. Then I'll help you guard it and let you fuse with this thing. Chen Shang stayed away from the dragon throne. Long Huishan sat cross-legged on the dragon throne, cut his finger and dripped a drop of blood on the sea-suppressing blood pearl. With a flash of white light, the pillar wrapped Long Huishan in a circle of white light. Sister Long, elder sister Long, my surname is Long too. I've never seen you call me so gently before. Long Shui imitated Chen Zhang's tone and teased him. Little naughty dragon, don't forget that back then, you were the one who acted young and turned into a big fart little girl. In my eyes, you will forever be that little girl. Chen Shang thought back to the matter of him meeting Long Shui back then and he felt quite happy in his heart. Humph, I am the reincarnation of the Heavenly Dragon Supreme Lord, you just wait and see. When that happens, I'll make you call me the Great Emperor, haha, Long Shui laughed madly. So what, wasn't it still written by me? Quote, Chen Shang was extremely pleased in his heart. Although it was a godlike relationship, but at least they had a relationship. After all, at that time, when both of their divine soul were tangled, they were very satisfied. What are you thinking about? Don't think that just because you've befriended me, you'll get me. Stinking brat, don't be too complacent, Heavenly Dragon's Supreme Lord isn't that easy to conquer. When Long Shui heard what Chen Shang was thinking, she immediately sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang. This matter, she was very worried about and Bai Yu finding out. Little naughty dragon, didn't you say you would get the Yulong blood on me? Unless you find a living jade dragon and kill it. Chen Shang chuckled. HMPH, even if it's like that, I'll still ride you. Long Shui retorted. Is there a difference? If you have the guts, come and ride me now. I'll definitely wash my body and let you ride it, haha. If he had nothing to do, he would flirt with this future Heavenly Dragon Supreme Lord of his. It would also be a joyous event in Chen Zhang's life. Little scoundrel, when the time comes, I will definitely make it so that you won't be able to stand up. Long Shui did not get angry, but pouted. If it wasn't because of this place, Chen Shang would definitely let this beautiful and voluptuous white dragon lady come out and take advantage of him. He who had not eaten anything for a long time would only be able to have his eyes on Long Shui at the moment. Long Huishan did not know when he would have to finish the mission, nor did he do anything else. Although it was currently safe in this place, he was still worried that an accident might happen. Why would an outsider come here? Only those who possess the bloodline of an ice dragon or ice dragon sword can come in. A man's voice with a female surname appeared beside Chen Zhang's ears. This scared Chen Shang so much that he stood up abruptly and looked around cautiously, but he did not realize anything. He was sure that he had heard correctly, and that voice came from his divine sense C. You, a human, why are you such a powerful cultivator of the divine path? Tisk tisk, you even have the sea-suppressing orb. This is incredible, the voice said again. Who are you? Chen Shang asked from the divine sense C. Me, my name is Long Han, what about you? What a strange little fellow. Long Han said. My name is Chen Shang, could it be that you are an ice dragon? Chen Shang asked in surprise. That's right, I am an ice dragon and an ice dragon is me. How do you know that? Could it be that you have hooked up with my Long family's daughter? Long Han said with a smile. Chen Shang really wanted to seduce a few. Who told this ice dragon to harm so many human girls, but he didn't dare to say it out loud. Being able to talk with the ice dragon made him extremely excited, as he didn't want to anger this Long Han. Chapter 11:18. Long Han could be considered a very powerful ancient dragon. What remained here was only a wisp of his divine will. It could be seen that he wasn't dead, but he didn't know where he was now. Long Han could only see the situation inside Chen Zhang's divine sense C and not the white dragon that was Long Shui. Otherwise, he would definitely be even more shocked. How can I hook up with your Long family's woman? She's only giving me face and asking me to call her elder sister. She's just right there to assimilate your inheritance. Chen Shang scratched the back of his head and laughed. Although you said that, I kept on feeling that you were very powerful. I kept on feeling that you had a lot of powerful things on your body. But sadly, my original body wasn't here so I couldn't see through you. Long Han smiled, but you have helped my Long family, I am grateful to you. Chen Shang also stopped wasting time with Long Han, and directly asked him about some things he wanted to know. Senior, I want to ask you, did you take away the 26 treasure chests in Chaotic Mountain? What's in it? Quote. Ah, how do you know? Have you been there? It must be what the mountain spirit told you. Long Han chuckled, only the descendants of traitors can enter that place. You can't be the descendant of those traitors, right? Of course not, I was just sneaking in. There were many things that happened there. In the end, we went there, and because there were only 4 treasure chests, there was a dispute. However, I managed to obtain 3 in the end, but was unable to open them. Chen Shang sighed. There should be a lot of people going, but you actually managed to get 3. Not bad. You can use my ice dragon sword scabbard to open it, but you will need a bit of effort. Back then, I spent a lot of effort to create this key too, so those treasure chests are indeed hard to open. Long Han said with a sigh, to tell you the truth, don't hold too much hope in the treasure chest. I spent a lot of effort to get 26 of them, but they were all useless in the end. Don't hit me, what are they? Chen Shang felt his heart go cold, he had spent a lot of effort to get that back. It's hard to say, the items in each treasure chest are different. In any case, they're not good stuff in my eyes. Long Han smiled, you should open it yourself, perhaps it's a treasure to you. Chen Shang heaved a sigh of relief. Just what kind of powerful existence was this ice dragon? Senior, there's one more thing, it's the super old fire beast, I've met him before, he said that he was tricked by a dragon and got him trapped, I wonder if it was Senior who did it. Chen Shang thought about it, then asked. Long Han suddenly exclaimed, crap, I actually forgot about this guy. The corner of Chen Zhang's mouth twitched, the super old fire beast not being released, had actually been forgotten by this guy. If he told the super old fire beast, the big flame lion would probably be angry. Back then, this guy was very impulsive and wanted to fight with some of the stronger guys. However, he knew his own limits. So, I'll first go find a earthly fruit and use this thing to increase my strength. I'll go with him when that time comes. Quote. In the end, he really did find out, but I was worried that once he ate the earthly fruit, he would go find those powerful guys, so I temporarily sealed him away. After that, I was too busy with other things and even left DTN, so I forgot about this matter. If you didn't mention it, I wouldn't even remember it. Quote. Chen Shang was speechless. He would never personally tell the super old fire beast about this, in case the super old fire beast's anger would burn through his body. Thinking back to how the super old fire beast had been trapped for so long, because of this, he couldn't help but feel sympathy for them. Senior, do you know where the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord's mausoleum is? Chen Shang boldly asked about this matter. I don't know. I had previously searched for his grave, but I still couldn't find it. This fellow is very sinister. Come to think of it, what is your background, and how do you know so many things that even I have almost forgotten? Long Han was extremely curious. This is what Senior White Tiger told me. Chen Shang was not afraid to let the ice dragon know of his relationship with the White Tiger, and this would reduce the amount of things he had to explain. So that's how it is. I didn't expect him to still be alive. If he's still in DTN, then he should be very confident. How could it be like me coming to this place without even being able to find a route? Sigh, Flame Lion will definitely thank me for sealing him. Otherwise, when I kidnapped him here, he would definitely scold me a few times every day now. Chen Shang was stunned. Even if the ice dragon was at that place, 2 scallions wouldn't count. You have to understand that this ice dragon is a good friend of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Even though it didn't have the strength of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord back then, it was still ranked very high up in the sky. Chen Shang guessed that it should be an even higher realm, to which he could only look up. In the immortal world, his strength was merely at the bottom. If he met an immortal monarch, he would have to run away with his tail between his legs. Don't say any more, I'll leave some power for you guys. This ice dragon sword has some of the power that I left behind sealed within it. If you need it, you can summon it once, but of course, it can only be used once. As long as it was what kind of power? It's hard to say, it should be enough for you to overcome this obstacle. Quote. Long Han let out a long sigh filled with helplessness. It seemed that he was not going to live a good life as he had been in the past. Senior, I will definitely come and find you in the future. Although I have never seen you before, I will at least have your help in making it to this day. Chen Shang said. If you have the guts, then come. This is the grave of the strong, but it is also the place where they can become stronger. Quote. Chen Zhang's thoughts were in a mess at the moment. He suspected that the place Long Han was currently in should be the primal chaos world. There was some movement from Long Huishan's side, and the circular light barrier surrounding her became much more transparent. Through the light barrier, Chen Shang could see that a set of ice armor, seemingly crafted from ice crystals, had appeared on Long Huishan's body. The inheritance that Long Han had left him was not only him, but it was also a very powerful set of ice armor. The light enveloping Long Huishan had already disappeared. The only thing that could be seen was that she was wearing a set of ice armor and sitting on the dragon throne, looking like a queen. Her speed of fusing with the ice dragon's inheritance was extremely fast, and she could clearly feel how powerful she had become. This was the power of an immortal king. It made Chen Shang feel as if he was facing the three-horns dragon king. Just when Chen Shang was able to see her spirit, Long Huishan opened her eyes. Her bright and beautiful eyes revealed a sharp light that could not be hidden, and when she looked at Chen Shang, it made him feel extremely pressured. Chapter 11:19. Scared me to death. Chen Shang laughed and wiped off the sweat on his forehead. No matter who it was that was being watched by a powerful rancor, they would not be able to do it easily. Big sister won't eat you, what are you afraid of? Long Huishan laughed like a silver bell, her mood extremely good. If it wasn't for Chen Shang here, she would have found it hard to contain her oppressive aura and would have definitely charged out to find Long Song for revenge. she would definitely go to the Long family to exterminate all the elders who colluded with Long Song. Chen Shang suddenly thought that since Long Huishan had obtained the Ice Dragon's inheritance, and the Ice Dragon had very rarely mentioned it in the Imperial Dragon clan's inheritance of memories, and even more so, did not use any Ice Dragon's technique. If Long Huishan could pass some of these techniques to him, he would have another powerful cultivation technique in the future. Sister Long, the Ice Dragon's inheritance that you've obtained, do you have any powerful martial skills? Chen Shang shamelessly asked. After all, asking others about their cultivation technique was not a very polite thing to do. Long Shui had said that the majority of dragons cultivated the gods, so he could use 9-turn dragon god mantra to exchange for them. Moreover, Long Shui herself also wanted to learn the Ice Dragon's technique, so even though she was a white dragon, she knew how to use other cultivation methods. Yes, you want to learn it? I can teach you. She did not see Chen Shang as an outsider at all. She even thought that Chen Shang was an envoy sent by the Ice Dragon, if not she would not have been able to obtain the Ice Dragon's inheritance so smoothly. The first style is called Icewind Magic Kung Fu. I have this, I didn't expect it to be for the Ice Dragon. Lu Munger had already passed this information to him, but he did not learn it. Instead, he wanted Bai Yu to learn it. You actually know the Icewind Magic Kung Fu, the other method is called Frozen Under Heaven, which in theory can freeze anything and is extremely powerful. Our Long family's current techniques are all based on this adaptation, but it's too weak. Quote. Long Huishan thought for a while, then said, only these 2 sects can be passed down to you, the others can only be used if you have the Ice Dragon's bloodline, this is a spirit cultivation item. Elder sister, I am also a spirit cultivation person now. Quote. Chen Shang had already guessed that Long Huishan would definitely become a spirit cultivator after obtaining the Ice Dragon's inheritance. He never thought that this could actually be passed on. Then does Sister Long have any spiritual cultivation technique? Asked. If not, he would pass the 9-turn Dragon God mantra to Long Huishan. It's called the 9-turn Dragon God mantra, but you need the Divine Soul. It's very difficult for humans to cultivate Divine Soul. If I didn't obtain the inheritance of the Ice Dragon's ancestor, I don't know how long it would take me. This Ice Dragon's spiritual cultivation method was actually 9-turn Dragon God mantra. Chen Shang was only able to grasp a bit of it at the moment. Even the White Tiger and 10 Heavens Supreme Lord back then were unable to completely unearth the essence of the Heaven-Earth killing method. Relax a bit, I'll pass down the Frozen End World technique to you. As Long Huishan said this, she pointed her jade finger at Chen Zhang's forehead. Without waiting for Chen Shang to prepare himself, she directly passed on the Frozen End World confining technique to him. At this time, Long Huishan astonishedly discovered that Chen Shang actually had a divine sense C. Although it was much smaller than hers, they had already condensed a ocean-subduing pearl, which wrapped around her divine soul. After being discovered, Chen Shang felt a little awkward and couldn't help but blush. Frost Sealing World was powerful, but Chen Shang didn't have the time to learn it yet, and Long Huishan was also in a hurry to go back and take revenge. So you are a spirit cultivator too? Seeing Chen Zhang's face blushing, Long Huishan laughed and scolded, you really have a lot of secrets on you. Don't worry, big sister won't blame you. Chen Shang laughed and said, I originally planned to pass the 9-turn Dragon God mantra to you, who would have known that you would already have it. You've helped me so much, it's nothing if I give you the method of freezing the world. Don't take it to heart. What's more, who will follow who? Long Huishan laughed and pinched Chen Zhang's face like a big sister. Chen Shang laughed. Let's get out of here quickly. I know you can't wait to get revenge on those bastards. Long Huishan was really anxious, she anxiously pulled Chen Shang and walked to one of the walls of the hall, her jade palm pressing on the wall, releasing a burst of strong coldness here, only to see a small door suddenly open. There was actually a secret door. Entering the secret door was a long path, but after Long Huishan obtained the inheritance of the Ice Dragon, his strength and speed had increased by leaps and bounds, pulling Chen Shang along as he rushed through the path. Chen Shang felt that the originally gentle and kind Long Huishan had now become a female tyrannosaur, her entire body filled with killing intent. This secret door was something that Long Huishan learned from the Ice Dragon's inheritance. Furthermore, she also knew some of the Ice Dragon's secrets, those were all equivalent to inheritance memories. She quickly pulled Chen Shang out of the dragon cave and arrived at the mountaintop above the dragon cave. What they did not expect was that Long Song had actually brought people to guard outside. Seeing Long Huishan suddenly appearing at the top of the mountain above Dragon Cave, Long Song and a few other elders all revealed looks of shock. Although this had always been a legend, the Long family still firmly believed that as long as they could get close to the Dragon Cave, most of them, who had the bloodline of the Ice Dragon, could feel the summons coming from the depths of the Dragon Cave. Long Huishan had appeared, and judging from her aura, her strength must have increased by a lot. She glared at the group of people below her, and anger surged in her heart. Although he was a little afraid of Long Huishan, who had the inheritance of the Ice Dragon, he still had to eliminate Long Huishan first. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to sit still in his position as the Long family patriarch. Kill! Long Song bellowed as he transformed into a streak of light, and in the next moment, he was even stronger than Long Huishan. At the same time, he swung his mountain-splitting axe with an extremely strong force, slashing down ferociously, causing the entire ice ground to shatter, and large and small pieces of ice cubes to jump about from the impact. After Long Huishan threw Chen Shang far away, a white light flashed from his body as that domineering ice armor appeared. Then, with a vigorous wave of his hand, he used the sturdy ice armor on his arm to sweep across fiercely, breaking the attack of the pair of huge axes. The force that was released almost made Long Song's huge axes fly out of his hands, and the huge axes were also covered with ice. You go, I can handle this. Long Huishan sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang, and at the same time, the few powerful old men all rushed towards Long Huishan to attack him, with their swords and sabers striking from all directions. A few people who were watching below knew that they could not get in his way, and thus kept their distance from the battlefield, but they noticed that Chen Shang was slipping away. Chapter 11:20. Seeing Chen Shang slip away now, the people who had followed Long Song all thought that his strength was not that great. He was just a lucky guy who managed to pull out the Ice Dragon sword and shamelessly followed Long Huishan into the Dragon Cave. It must have been Long Huishan's protection that kept him alive until now. Baidu search. But when they saw that Long Huishan did not use the Ice Dragon sword, they knew that the Ice Dragon sword was still in Chen Zhang's hands. They thought that Long Huishan would not be able to pull it out, so they immediately chased after Chen Shang. These idiots are really catching up. If this daddy wants to run away, even if you have 8 more legs, you won't be able to catch up to me. Chen Shang snickered in his heart. Long Huishan had already started fighting with Long Song and the others. Long Song was an immortal king, and the elders were all close to an immortal king, but even so, Long Huishan still had the upper hand. They were all experts of the Long family and used icy cold power. Now that the battle had started, waves of terrifying cold wind swept through the entire Dragon Cave like ice blades. Among them, 2 of them are Long Song's sons. Be careful, although they don't have Long An's strength, they're still very difficult to deal with. Long Huishan had no choice but to worry about Chen Shang. Although she knew that Chen Shang had a lot of methods, but Chen Shang was surrounded by more than 10 people, all of them were the experts of the Long family's younger generation. You can deal with those guys with ease. Don't worry about me. Chen Shang could already see that among the people surrounding him, a few were immortal cultivators, while the rest had just crossed 8 nirvana tribulations. After Chen Shang took out the Ice Dragon sword, the howling, violent, cold wind actually avoided him. He never thought that the Ice Dragon sword would actually have this kind of power. Do you want to attack together? Chen Shang shouted, come if you have the guts, but if it's like this, there's no use in snatching my Ice Dragon sword. Wait, a black-clothed man shouted at those who wanted to make a move. One could tell that he had a lot of power, and was able to intimidate these people. The Ice Dragon sword is a holy level dragon tool. If you can defeat me fair and square, the Ice Dragon sword will naturally submit to you, but if you bully the less with numbers, if I die, the Ice Dragon sword will also follow me. Chen Shang sneered, aren't you chasing this nobody just for the Ice Dragon sword? I'm not afraid to tell you, the reason why Miss Long was able to enter the Dragon Cave was all because of this Ice Dragon sword, and the fact that there are many treasures in the Dragon Cave. Quote, as long as you can obtain the Ice Dragon sword, you can freely enter and leave the Dragon Cave. If it was before, no one would believe Chen Zhang's bullshit, but now, Long Huishan had obtained the inheritance of the Ice Dragon ancestral founder in the Dragon Cave, and was suppressing Long Song and a few elders, which made people unable to not believe him, because they previously thought that with Long Huishan's strength, it would be difficult to enter the depths of the Dragon Cave, because none of them could. Long Huishan had succeeded after he brought in a nameless person who could pull out Ice Dragon sword. Now, Chen Shang had said that the dragon cave still had some treasures, and that these were the most tempting things. The treasures left behind by the ice dragon's ancestral founder were priceless. The ice dragon sword was something left behind by the ice dragon's ancestral founder. I will use my strength to prove that only I am worthy to have it. The black-clad man spoke in a very relaxed manner, as if he could destroy Chen Shang with a single slap. The cold wind blew much weaker than usual. As Long Huishan and Long Song fought, they went far away, and the people who surrounded Chen Shang spread out, allowing the man to fight with Chen Shang impartially. Long Yi, finish him quickly. Then we'll enter the dragon cave so we don't have to split the spoils with those old fellows, a man beside him urged. Long Yi rubbed his fists together as he looked at Chen Shang in disdain. Even if he has ice dragon sword I can defeat him easily. Just look at his aura. This Long Yi was also very sinister. At first he looked very casual, but the next moment, he was as ferocious as a tiger, holding onto a large sword as he charged forward. This was an immortal. No matter how powerful Chen Shang was, there was still a huge gap in strength. It was difficult to make up for the disparity, but he still pulled out his ice dragon sword and went forward to fight. Dang, dang, dang. After Chen Shang clashed with Long Yi's broadsword a few times, both of his arms were numbed by the enemy's strong power, making him feel as if the bones in his arms were about to split open. However, Long Yi was extremely relaxed, the broadsword was only covered with a little bit of ice. It's a pity that you're too weak. If you had my strength, I would have already been frozen by then, and the ice dragon sword would be mine. Ling Chen. Long Yi laughed out wildly. He wielded his sword with both hands and instantly appeared above Chen Shang, slashing down with great force. His speed and strength had reached his peak. While the people at the side were admiring the strength of the ice dragon sword, they were also secretly shocked by Long Yi's strength. Haha, Long Yi laughed loudly, because he believed that this strike would definitely injure Chen Shang and then stab Chen Shang to death. Just when everyone was looking forward to the moment Chen Shang was killed, Long Yi's wild laughter suddenly stopped, and his face was still filled with shock. Chen Zhang's mouth curved up. Suddenly he brandished his sword and thrust it out. The sword was so fast that no one could see how he did it. In a moment ago Chen Shang was still standing there holding the sword in a daze, but in the next moment, the sword had already pierced Long Yi's throat, and Long Yi's sword had also slashed down. Although it landed on Chen Zhang's shoulder, it did not cut into his flesh. Everyone was startled and their bodies involuntarily trembled. This scene was too strange. The attack of Long Yi's peak level was unexpectedly not enough to cause a nirvana tribulation person to see blood. Instead, his throat was pierced. The cold power released by the ice dragon sword flowed from Long Yi's throat into his entire body, instantly freezing his blood and bones. You overestimate yourself. Chen Zhang's arm shook, causing hot steam to rise. With a berserk flame energy, it struck Long Yi's dantian, causing the heaven fire to enter Long Yi's body, and the cold energy was strangely absorbed by the flames, becoming even more violent. In a few moments, Long Yi was burnt to ashes. There was still a drunk god magical poison remaining inside the ice dragon sword, and just now it drilled a little into Long Yi's body, so when Long Yi triggered the power in his entire body, he let the drunk god magical poison quickly spread, causing the energy behind him to suddenly be anesthetized and then being pierced through by Chen Shang. It was too strange. If they didn't see it with their own eyes, the people around them definitely wouldn't believe that Long Yi would be killed like this. Not only that, he was even Long Song's son. You, forget about the ice dragon sword, kill this evil being. Long Song's other son shouted, holding onto his sword. He and a group of people rushed towards Chen Shang.